Ponduffs Anonymous is brought to you in part by McKelvey Insurance. Let's be honest, insurance sucks until you need it. That's why I fuck with McKelvey Insurance. These folks aren't just slinging quotes like robots. They're actual humans who solve real problems. Whether it's personal or commercial insurance, McKelvey works with over 30 companies to make sure you've got the best coverage at the best price without the bullshit. You're not just a number to them. They build real relationships. So when life changes, or your rates do, they've got your back. They'll shop around again and again to make sure you stay protected without ever overpaying. Call or text 618-623-0080 or hit up McKelveyINS.com. That's McKelvey, McKelveyINS.com. McKelvey Insurance. Quick solutions to real-life insurance problems. Anywhere in Illinois or Missouri. Guys, let me tell you about my good friends at Light Source. Light Source Psychotherapy in Belleville, Illinois is a small group practice committed to providing individual, group, and family therapy, as well as clinical and reflective supervision to those in the helping field. Check them out at findyourlightsource.com. They're the best in the business, my friends. I know them personally and well enough to tell you and put my name and word on it. If you're struggling with mental health, family issues, addiction, grief, you name it, give my friends Chaz and Holly a call. Their private practice is life-saving, and they will help you find your light.
Yeah. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. I'll react if I had to. Put some things in the past too, and don't let them distract you, but react if you have to. Yeah. React if you have to, yeah. Don't know the time, yeah. Just know that I'm, yeah, one of a kind, yeah. What's on your mind, yeah. Well, hard to find, yeah. Beautiful mind, yeah. Still in my prime, yeah. Just know that I'm here.
What's up, everybody? Ponduffs Anonymous. Don't ask me what.
27.
You sure?
I'm the keeper of the episode numbers. 27.
All right.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 27. We got a professional
Broadcaster.
journalist. Are you a journalist?
That's a stretch, brother.
Breaking
That's
the news.
a stretch.
You're to break the news.
I say stuff I read on Reddit. Does that make me a journalist?
Today, that's about the scope, isn't it?
If you're getting your hard hitting, I always tell people, if you're getting your news from the Rizzuto show, raise your standards. We will be entertaining, but in no way should that be the gospel that you live by.
Yeah, that's right. I like Learn. She's my buddy, so
Yeah, she's great.
I like her.
She's the best.
News, her music news a lot of
Iggy
times.
likes to Learn.
Her music news trust, but if you're looking for worldwide political hard hitting topics, seek a second opinion.
Stock tips.
That's right.
That's right.
I get my news from TMA.
Well, that's probably a worse source.
Radio Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very inside baseball for all of you people listening or watching. We're talking about radio shows in St. Louis.
That's right. We have Rafe Williams on today.
Very excited, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, man. Happy to be here. Very cool facility.
Thank you.
I don't know what the behind the scenes is on this pod. If you guys talk about it with every guest, but it's cool I didn't realize it was like a cool, inpatient dorm. Like everybody, I was just telling you guys that, this is a 30-day inpatient treatment program. And I go, how many fucking cigarettes are getting smoked on the ground? I expect to see like a Cahokia Mounds level of cigarette butts. Because I know that first 30 dudes like that Matthew McConaughey meme where everybody's just like,
sucking them down.
Who am I? Been there, brother. Hang tough.
That's about accurate.
Yeah.
Oh, don't I know it?
Yeah.
We have we just have a revolving house account at the cigarette shop up the street in Wade Square.
I'd be you guys you should be sending people on Kentucky runs. Like there's I lived in Southern Illinois when I grew up, and
really,
my grandma's favorite pastime was to go to Kentucky for them tax-free.
Oh yeah,
$2 a pack carton of Dural's.
Yeah,
over to Paducah.
Fucking peel
you gotta
the
go to
paint.
Paducah if you live in,
and you
Southern
get a
Illinois.
couple cartons of cigs, and that was a Saturday night for Grandma.
See, that's the
Meemaw
thing.
stop by the boat in Metropolis, gamble a little bit, get her
Wait,
$2 cigarettes, and then come peel the paint off the trailer.
I can picture the old yellow ceiling tile, right?
Oh yeah.
People think that Belleville is like Southern Illinois. I'm like, no. You got to go to real Southern Illinois.
It's technically Metro East.
Yeah.
Right.
The real Southern Illinois, it's Northern Kentucky. They drew the lines wrong. I tell people that often. Because when I was in the Army and stuff, people be like, "Oh, you're from Illinois, Chicago," and I'm like, "Nah, bruh. Nah, there's this whole vestigial tail hanging off the ass end of Chicago, and it gets more racist as you go down." And they drew the lines fucked up like that. They should have taken Kentucky and just put a big bump on the top because that's where I grew up.
So I'll take that. I used to call being from Belleville, we're the Puerto Rico of Illinois.
Yeah, I mean, Belle Vegas is an interesting town. I have friends over here.
Are they clients here, or are they in St. Clair County Jail?
No, you know, one of my buddies who's sober now, you know,
That's
I
because from
watched
Belleville.
him. Yeah, he's
You're
from Belleville.
either sober or you're not.
Yeah, I watched him, and one night walk into some apartment buildings to make a purchase of some substances.
Sure.
And gone for an hour and a half. Comes out, no shoes, no shirt. Go, Joe, what the hell happened? He goes, the guy I wanted to hit up wasn't home, so I saw some guys outside and was like, "You guys got any coke? I got a whole wad of money." And I go,
Oh,
and he goes, "They robbed the fuck out of me." And I go, "Yeah, man. Yeah, they did. And you deserved it." And I've been sitting here burning gas in my truck, but hey, you know, that's what happens, kids, when you don't make good decisions with your life.
that's funny, man. Jacob was saying that he didn't you see him do a stand up?
Yeah, I think it was about 3 years ago, probably. It was at a recovery fundraiser
Yeah.
shindig thing.
Was it like the Prevent Ed stuff?
Yeah, that's what it was. Prevent Ed.
Yeah, I got another one of those coming up in September, actually.
Nice.
I'm doing it this year again.
So it was really good. That'd be rolling.
Great.
Well, shit. So tell us about that. What's the program?
The Prevent Ed is a great, when I talk on the radio and I talk about my sobriety, I always tell people, reach out to me, man. Like, it's that whole be of service thing. You try to live up to it. Sometimes it's hard. I get inundated with a lot. You'd be surprised, man. That's how I know it is an issue that so many people deal with, in a real way that even the listenership of the Rizzuto show, or sometimes I've sponsored comedians.
Okay.
Believe me, comedies.
Sure.
And I always say, reach out to me. And the Prevent Ed is always the first resource because they have an adult assessment. They will point you in the right direction. They'll figure out what you need. Do you need that inpatient 30 days? Can you do outpatient? They'll help you do, and they do free adult assessments, and they help you get on the right track and take that first step towards recovery. It's a great organization. I can't sing its praises enough. And they do all sorts of sans bar events.
Okay.
To make people feel fucking normal in the whole recovery process. And it's a good organization, real good people, man. So I did it a couple of years ago, and then I took a year off. My buddy Will O'Donnell did it last year, I think. And then I'm going to be back there September 6th, I think, at COCA, the Performing Arts.
Cool.
Is that in Kirkwood?
Building. I want to say it's Delmar.
Yeah, I think
right?
it's
It's right off the
Delmar.
loop.
Yeah.
Why did I think?
That's where I did it last
Kirkwood
year.
Performing Arts Center.
I'm not a fucking liberal. I don't know that.
Yeah, you are too.
They keep thinking I'm a closet liberal.
That's because I'm an actual liberal and
Yeah.
he's not.
Wait, sorry, we don't get political. We just chirp each other because we call Jeff the liberal, right? But
Okay.
I'm really interested in this. I want to.
Well, I'm a very progressive guy, despite everything your eyes are telling you right now. I say that on stage. It's hard to hear coming out of this face, head, and body, but I'm a pretty far left center guy myself. So if you don't like it, turn the fucking podcast
Jacob
off.
thinks you're welcome. Jacob thinks my wife's dragging me that direction, and it's just because I don't.
She's
hate
a good
gay
woman.
people,
She is.
Fuck.
It's just because you don't hate the gays.
And I don't think Jesus does either. So it's fuck, I'm the fucking liberal now.
Yeah.
I was telling these guys, I saw this the other day. I said, if you think the Pope's liberal, wait till you meet Jesus. And,
Right.
fuck. I want to check that out, though. That's awesome. It sounds really important. I totally can relate.
Sure.
I'm like a conter of resource that you are publicly and with your persona here in the St. Louis
Sure.
Metro. East area. So sorry for the graphic analogy, but I mean,
I thought it was, at first I thought it was a French word. I didn't know because you said it so tight. Compteur. I am but a compteur of the, and I'm like, a compteur.
Got it. Yeah.
All right. Well,
so hopefully small.
I guess I can say whatever the fuck I want on this pod.
Yep. He opened the door there.
But I get a taste of that from
proved he wasn't liberal there.
TikTok really hates us, by the way.
Yeah.
We can't ever post any clips.
No cloud, dude.
I don't
0%.
I mean, I can't imagine even the Residual Show having much.
We put stuff up,
TikTok.
but it's not much. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of traction on there.
And we talk a lot of
unless it's-
salad
Porn
tossing.
star birthdays, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we talk quite a bit about salad tossing on TMA, and that doesn't get.
Okay.
I'm a active fucking cult loser follower of that show. It's a great show, but I've done some sponsorship with them. We'll post something on
McKernan?
there. Yeah.
So his brother is a very good friend of mine.
Which one?
Tim McKernan's brother, Kevin McKernan, runs it. Like
Best
when I
donut
did
shop on the planet, huh?
Well, and he also runs the Improv Shop.
That's
which is
right.
Oh, wow.
So Kevin and I have been comedically joined at the hip for 12, 13 years now, and done a lot of improv and a lot of stuff together. And good dude, great.
Yeah, great family.
Yeah, good family, man. Love them all. Love the dad and brothers. Like they're all good folks.
Danny McKernan's been here and done helped us
Dan,
with a commercial.
I'm a big Dan McKernan. Don't sleep on Dan.
He's a good-looking man too. He's
Cool
got that,
brother.
He's got the hair in the McKernan family.
Yeah, he kept it.
He got a good lettuce there. I invited him here. I was really inviting Paige Halsey, but he had to come and we did the camera rollover and a 15-second commercial with Eric, and Eric's our CEO and business partner of mine, and the big dog we call on campus, but he does have a pretty face, so we kept him on camera.
Okay.
Me and Jakob stayed far fucking away from that. But yeah, good family there. I love that. I've always listened to the show and fuck around on it. But anytime I post on, believe it or not, they have a fan page on Facebook. I'm not sure if you're aware or a member of it. It's a cesspool. But if I post something about being sober, or like if it's an anniversary, and hey, reach out. I mean, I get blown up by it. It really does hit a fucking chord with people.
Yeah, man. And sometimes, I try to hit everybody because, the service we provide is the rent we pay for the space we take up on earth. Like I do try to live by that sometimes, not to be too prophetic or in the weeds, but with being up my own ass about service, but it is part of recovery. Whether you're working out of the book or you're doing it on your own, you got to get out of the selfishness of it. Like that's the one thing all addicts have in common is it turns you into kind of a selfish piece of shit. Whether you mean for it to happen or not, that is an innate characteristic of that, having an addictive personality.
Jakob was stealing from his mother, so I mean, talk about selfish.
Nice.
She's an angel too. Which time, right?
Yeah. She's a saint, but
being on the point,
yeah,
big fan of Lincoln Park, and Chester Bennington said it one time. He said when he's not in between his own years is when, because then there's a scary place. I've seen that, and
dude.
When he's out, and he's serving and helping. That's how I feel. It gets me out of my fucking
have
head,
to.
man.
That is the way you get out. Anytime I'm feeling sorry for myself or I'm having a pity party, I make it a point to just try to go do something for somebody else because that's the only way out.
Sure.
I always say, people talk about intrusive thoughts, and I'm like, my brain is the bar all the intrusive thoughts go to kick back and really let loose after they get off work. I'm like, childhood trauma, where you been? It's like, Norm! It's like my brain is the cheers of intrusive thoughts where they all come to live and be like, man, I had a hard day and I'm ready to cut loose. And I'm like, all right, I think I've overserved self-hatred again. He's getting pretty wild up in here. So a lot of times just to get the fuck out of that headspace, man, it's good to help people, and it's hard, and being in comedy you get a front row seat to people burning their life down a lot. Sure. It is an artist community. Artists have a proclivity. I think it comes with creativity, unfortunately. It's like you have a proclivity to excess or extremes or having an addictive personality, and it works good for me. finding a way to make your addictive personality work for you is good. Like, and when I'm being good, I'm real good. But if I eat one box of Entenmann crumb top donuts, I'm off the fucking rails. You know, I'm eating the whole thing. So it's like, you got to know those things about yourself. And sometimes, man, it's like, I got a buddy right now. He's in the fun part of addiction, but I know how it ends. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, bruh, I could save you about 10 years of turmoil because I know where this train deboards.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't fix itself.
But you can't bring a horse to water, man. They gotta want to come. You know, you can be there for them, and that's why I like when people come to me. They've made that step to be like, you can't do it for your wife, you can't do it for your husband, you can't do it for your kids. If you're not ready to do it for you, it'll never work.
Bingo.
But I'm not saying don't try. But I'm saying, like, you got to be in that space where you have to be ready. So, like, I like when I put the feelers out and people come to me because I feel like, okay, now we've breached that.
Sure.
We've gotten over that hurdle. So, and if people are there and they're willing to reach out, and be vulnerable in that way, I try not to leave emails unread or messages. Right. Some do get away from me. So if you're listening to this pod and you're like, fuck him, I sent him a message, piece of shit. And I'm like, send me another one. Because I get a ton of them. I get like hundreds of, it's just like the fan page stuff. I get 100 reels a day from the same fucking guy. I've never responded one time, but he's like, I'm going to get you one of these times. And I'm like, I'm going to block you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, stop sending me shit. But
I feel I was texting Carrie Davis's show today. I'm a big ILL guy. And
love Carrie, dude.
I was like, hey, Carrie, have you ever gone down on the townie from
I give Carrie a lap dance.
See, that's what I mean. And I go, I have 6 texts about banging out this townie in Champaign and needing to go to Carl Hospital to get looked at. And I know Carrie has been around Champaign, Illinois a little bit. So I just want to see if we've dipped in the same waters. And I finally said, give me an ILL. Give me an INI. And he fired one back, and it made my whole day. Carrie's Super Bowl winner, baby.
Yeah, Carrie Davis was a D1 athlete.
Right.
He might not have been swimming in the same pool as you.
True, yeah.
No offense.
Fair.
No offense, but you were in an above ground pool. He was at he was probably swimming at the country club.
That's right. He was with cheerleaders.
One of those infinity pools.
Yeah, exactly.
I was with lot lizards at the truck stop.
And then that's it. You know what? It's the oldest profession.
God bless them. They all need love and Rafe. Carrie's great. I know what you mean about those messages, and you try your hardest.
Sure.
And my response to that, if somebody out there is listening, you got to keep trying because persistence pays off. If you're feeling a nudge and planting a seed and getting help, there's people to call and people to reach out to. And I love it when they dip their toe in because you once they make that first connection, there's really no rewinding that tape and unbaking that turkey in their head. Now they know. Now the conversation is started, and it may be a year before they go get help.
Oh yeah,
but it started.
Or it may be 10 tries.
Sure.
We've all, false starts are part of it.
Big time. What, do you mind? So where did you said you grew up Southern Illinois.
Grew up in Southern Illinois down by Carbondale, a little town called Dowell, Illinois.
Wow. I've never heard of that.
500 people in it.
And I know Southern Illinois.
Spelled Dowell, Dowell, do well, ironically.
Interesting.
No one is. I always say shorthand to let you know where I came from. Our business district was 4 taverns and 1 church.
My man.
Because we like Jesus one way, but we're a little more selective about who we be doing our drinking with.
Right. Yeah. That I can imagine the barstool.
So it was a little small, coal mining towns down there. Once coal mines died out, it became kind of a tough area.
Yeah.
So 57?
51.
51.
So in between Carbondale and DuQuoin.
Yeah.
So DuQuoin's where we did. That was our Kroger's. That was our movie theater.
DuQuoin's gotten rough. I was down there for some motorcycle races.
Yeah,
at their mile.
Yeah.
And it got hit.
I just think every time I go home, I feel like there's one more set of boards on windows that used to be. I was like, I seen it. It's weird seeing like your childhood memories get boarded up.
That is.
You know what I mean? That's a weird thing for anybody. And that's how you know you're getting older. Like, I remember going to my childhood house. And it was like wrapped in vines, and I'm like, "Whoa, dude, that is a metaphor, brother." And I'm like, my childhood house is literally overgrown and wrapped in vines and vacant like that. A place that was like kept me dry is now got a hole in the roof. Yeah. And then the next time I went back, it was gone. It was bulldozed to the ground. And then that's a weird thing too to see like an empty lot where, you know, you used to sleep as a child. And it's like a weird thing, but it's like those areas like that go through that, I think, where, you know, economically there's struggles. And every time I go home, I feel like one more domino, but then it comes back, you know.
My Italian side is all from East St. Louis. So about 10 years ago, my 85-year-old uncle wanted to go back to Katy Avenue, the house he lived in. He was fucking gone upstairs. So we drove him, and he got out of the car and went and knocked on the door. And they were the nicest people. They let him in, had coffee, but it didn't look the same as the neighborhood he left in the 50s. But I think of, like, I've been to Southern Illinois quite a bit. Never heard of this town. I do know DuQuoin. Are those
it's
titty
on
bars
51,
still there?
so like if you go, we're one town from the titty bars. So
Yeah,
it's like DuQuoin, then Dowell, then Elkville, then DeSoto, which is where JB's and all. That's where that's where Titty City was.
All right. Yeah.
And then Carbondale, because they wouldn't allow it in the city limits.
Right.
So it was like, I was just like one town beyond it the other
Spend
way.
any time at those? You don't have to admit it on this show. But
No, I mean, John Bolin, JB is John Bolin, who is a friend of mine.
All right,
I know the guy who owned it.
Right.
So,
You
yeah.
had a tab.
It wasn't weird to go in there and get your dad out of there.
Come on.
When I tell people stories of growing up in like the late 90s, it sounds like a child from the Dust Bowl is talking to you. Because when you grow up poor in the 80s and 90s, it's like a time warp that only goes back 24 years. Because everybody's furniture was secondhand. So, like, I had 70s furniture.
Okay.
80s carpeting. You know, the decor was like, it was like I was growing up in a time machine that only went 20 years back. But I could go into the
Ran out of gas.
You know, there was a bar called the Veterans Inn that I would walk in as a child and buy my mom cigarettes.
Sure. Which
Which is not a story someone should be telling you that wasn't born, you know, during the Millard Fillmore administration. But that's just how it was. And they'd be like, don't open those.
There's 20 in there.
Your mom will tell us if you did. And I'm like, yeah, because everybody knows everybody in those small towns, you know, and they would sell me cigarettes and a bag of ice and penny Tootsie Rolls. I'd take if it was it was $1.78 back then for Salem Light 100s, that's 12 Tootsie Rolls, Holmes. I know how to do the math. That was my courier's fee, you know, and it was like, when you grow up in a place like that, it's kind of an odd, it's cool. And it's odd when you tell people like from other places about that. They're like, you're full of shit. And
What's the high school that you went to?
I went to Alvarado High School, which was Elkville, Virgins, Ava, Dowell, Oroville. So it was like these 5 little coal mining towns, kind of like
Dowell and Oroville. Those are the 2 I haven't heard of.
Yeah, they're tiny. I mean, Oroville's like 350 people. Dowell's
Heron's
like 500.
over there, right?
Heron's over that way.
Heron's got a big
were the worst
hospital even.
Yeah. I mean, Heron's a decent sized town. I always tell people Alvarado was we were the worst high school football team in the United States of America. I played in 5 homecoming games every year, mine and all 4 away games.
Oh, nice. I get it. Okay.
Because
that was Illinois.
Anytime we had an away game, they're like, we're going to fuck these dudes up. We'd pull into an away game, and I'd be like, boys, there's floats in the end zone again. It's going to be a long night. We're about to lose 80-6 again.
After Kerry left Illinois, that was pretty much our Illinois was everybody's senior night or something.
Yeah, dude. Like somebody's parents are getting a rose tonight, boys. Like it was just kind of one of those. You just accepted it, you know. Like we just get the shit kicked out of us, and if we won one game a year, it would be Caro. We would play Caro. They were terrible. We were terrible. Their school was in disrepair. Our school was in disrepair, and it was a fight for who's going to be the 0-8 team this year, and who's going to be 1-7, baby.
Big deal, baby.
Yeah, and if we won 2 games in a year, dude, it was like fucking.
Everybody's getting laid.
That you were Tom Brady. Oh yeah, dude. They were like, this guy's the next Tom Brady.
So when did you go to the Army? Right out?
No, I actually played. I left. I played Division III baseball and football at a place called Eureka
You're a big
College.
guy. And so I could see that athlete.
Yeah. It was Ronald Reagan's alma mater in Eureka, Illinois, and they beat it to death, dude. It was like, this is a Ronald Reagan gymnasium. This is a Ronald Reagan oak tree. This is a Ronald Reagan outlet. This is the Ronald Reagan blade of grass. This is the Ronald Reagan sky, actually. And I'm just like, we get it.
He stood under this.
And he didn't get, and it was his acting degree. It wasn't his poli-sci degree. It was his theater. He was a theater major.
The actor?
Yeah, exactly. So,
That's great.
but it was cool. And then I got I was a father at 19. I got my girlfriend pregnant when I was 19. And then that was the end of my college career. Then I went in the Army and then ended up being in the National Guard. It was just kind of how it was down there, man. There's two ways out of that town. In a bus that's, college or boot camp. And that's kind of just how it was.
Okay. Just not Marion or Menard. That's good, right?
Yeah.
I know a buddy of mine, bartender his whole life. He actually passed away a couple months ago. He was pissed that he got out of Menard 6 months before Charlie Hustle got there. Pete Rose did some time down there.
Yeah, well, he was in Marion.
Marion, that's what it was. Yeah. So he got it. So
Tyson,
Cliff was pissed. Yeah.
Pete Rose, Gotti, all in Marion because it's a federal supermax.
Okay. Yeah, so Cliff he played a lot of softball and he loved him. I'm like, you can't go back, Cliff. They're not going to let you back in. Like, come on. He loved those prison nachos.
I just want to talk to Pete.
That's all, whatever it takes. God rest his soul. So you went, did you hit it hard in high school or out of?
What are we talking about, boozing and stuff?
Well, yeah, whenever
Honestly,
it started.
no, I wasn't really, my dad was super strict and I was kind of like, I didn't really do anything in high school, but when I got out from under the totalitarian rule of kind of it's an old chestnut. I'm a comedian. I'd like to tell you that I don't fall into the old, broken home, abusive dad. But it was like, that's just how it was. My dad was kind of like, you don't know it when you're in it, but like I definitely grew up in an abusive home, real physical guy, oldest of 3 boys. Kind of figured out.
You are or he was?
I am.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of 3 sons. And like, I kind of figured out early on that was like, there was a lot of stress, man. You can remember like 4:00 when dad was getting off work, you could feel like a dark cloud come over the house, because you feel that as a kid where you're like, fuck, this dickhead's coming home. And
did you take a lot for your brothers?
Yeah, man. You take it on the chin for your brothers. That's kind of the older siblings' job, And I remember also that like when he wasn't there, I would make fun of him. I would do impressions of him. I would make fun of like what a dickhead he was.
With the silver lining.
Yeah. Well, and like I could get my mom and my brothers to laugh. Like I started figuring out that I could kind of ease the pain. That comedy was a way.
Laughter does fucking delay it, man.
And laughter's also breaks tension. That's what it is. It's a tension breaker. That's one of the rules of comedy is you build the tension, break the tension. And, I figured out early that I could do that, and it made me feel good. It made me feel like, that it was a noble pursuit. And I'm not trying to I understand that I am a mall clown and that 90% of my job is done at a former laser tag place. So I don't want to wax too poetically here, but
you're all right, man.
But it's like, I figured out early on that was a way. And so like, that's where the comedy seed kind of got planted in me. And I'd go to school and at school, like when you live with, a fascist dictator at home, you're not taking it from anybody else.
Sure. Right.
So at school, I was wilding out. I was just trying to make all my friends laugh, making my teachers laugh. I had teachers that harnessed it well. I had a teacher that used to let me go up at 5 minutes at the end of class, the old Jim Carrey thing, and be like, if you shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, the class, I'll give you the floor at the end. And I'm like, deal.
Oh, nice. God, he played you. I love that. That's good.
Yeah. Miss Carando, she was very, very, very good at it. But I think, and the reason I'm telling you that story, one is give comedy background, and 2 is to say that like, once I was out from under, you become like a rebel without a cause, or it's like, I didn't even know it was daddy issues is what was really probably going on. You don't know it. And you're just like, you feel like the world owes you something. Like you endure abuse and you endure trauma and you don't know where to you don't have healthy therapeutic skills. And like therapy wasn't in then,
Right, definitely.
Now it is. And everyone should go to therapy, guys. Stop punching holes in drywall. That's not it does feel good. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can still punch holes in the drywall.
You got to miss the stud.
I would have to do a stud finder then punch.
Yeah. But go to therapy. It's a lot easier. But I think that when I got out and about and I started partying and then I was bartending and like, it doesn't always start bad.
Sure.
I had 10 good years, boys. I had a good run. I was a fun time guy. I was a binge drinker guy, and it just got away from me at the end to where like, I think those last 5 years of drinking, it was like you become a caricature of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I felt
absolutely.
like one of them drawings at the state fair that's got a big head and a little body. And
Never
it's like
flattering.
a surfboard
Right.
and there's beer cans everywhere. And like, and it's like, but I became that guy in like real life to where that's what people thought. You become reliably unreliable.
Okay.
Other than, if somebody wanted to get fucked up, I wasn't much use to anybody. Like if somebody wanted to go on a bender or something, I was the guy to go with.
You'd get the call.
Yeah, I'd get the call for that. But
That hits home at the end. That hits home. That would.
But then you look in the mirror one day and you're just like, what the fuck, man? Like, what would 13-year-old you say to this fucking guy?
How old were you when you looked in the mirror?
I was 33
Okay.
when I quit. And I had a couple false starts before that. We're like, man, I think I need to hang up this, And I always tell people, like, I retired a champion.
There you go.
You're not going to catch me. I hung my cleats up at the peak of my career. But, just like I had something happen and, it wasn't like rock bottom it isn't always a bomb that goes off.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a skid. You come in on a skid.
I told somebody today I was given an interview that it wasn't like a movie scene, my rock bottom, because I was there for 2 years and
Sure.
it was the consistency of the fucking.
And you don't have to wait, dude. That's what I try to tell my friends all the time. I don't know, I'm sure you guys talk about it here, but you don't have to wait to lose your wife and your house, and you don't have to let it you can decide where your rock bottom is. Like you can make that choice and say like, this is as low as I care to go.
That's what we always tell people, at least I do, is that your rock bottom's when you decide to quit going down.
Yeah.
Like you decide when that is. You don't have to keep digging. You can. There will be more to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like I went to, I quit drinking on 7/11/11. Nice, easy sobriety day to remember.
All right. Big gulps, huh? I just think I'm a dumber scene.
That's right.
Those
See you
fuckers
later.
those fuckers get me on Postmates now. If you order, you get your burritos from the Mexican joint. It's like in 10 minutes, if you order 7-Eleven, you get 50% off. I'm like, all right, bring me a Diet Coke and a Ben and Jerry's. I gotta start working on it.
They'll get you.
So 7-11-11.
Sure.
Now I'm doing the math. So you got 14.
14.
Just hit 14.
Just hit 14
Congrats.
on the 11th. Yeah. Thanks, man. And, I had an event, and the thing that I would say, I went to like a golf tournament, and my friend's child, and she's alive. I'll preface it with that before it gets too sad. She had like a really rare, like bone cancer. And we were doing like a golf tournament fundraiser. And, and I'd already had some, and, you have your moments that are of embarrassment when you're drinking and you're part, because it was a stimulant for me. I'd stay up for 3 days and just get fucking annihilated.
Just on booze?
Yeah.
Or were you really?
I mean, I might go to sleep. I mean, sometimes you buy a bag of Coke or something, like no one's ever at 8:00 at night on a sober mind been like, what would be good tonight? An 8-ball of cocaine.
Right. You gotta have a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah,
there,
it's
right?
always a 3 a.m. decision where you're like, I gotta call D-Bag.
So
You hook me up.
so I can stay up for 2 more hours.
Yeah, just so I can drink more. Right.
Gosh, that's so funny. This is your story, by the way.
It's everybody's story.
It's so similar, man. I always say Coke was a tool for me to drink more alcohol.
100%.
And I wasn't the guy waking up in the morning needing to do a line before work.
Yeah, and I'm in no way romanticizing it. I'm just saying, like, there was there's a point where the scales tip and it gets away from you. And God bless the people who can just like do, whenever I'm sober, people are like, and I'm like, don't clap for my inability to party like a normal human being. I'm fucked up.
Good for
We're all
you.
fucked
You
up.
get to have a hot toddy when you're sick. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. But we went to this, there was like a golf tournament, and I'd stayed up. My cousin's band played the bar I worked at the night before, and I stayed up all night drinking with them. And I'm like, I gotta go to this golf tournament. So I slept for 37 minutes.
For an
woke
important to you cause, it sounds.
and this little girl was a child. Yeah. She was a child, and she was looking death in the face, and
fucking
it's like
courage.
100%. And I went to this golf tournament, and like somebody had soaked watermelon balls and, rum and gin, and I'm already in the can when I showed up. And we're drinking. By the back nine, I couldn't even play. You know, I
Sure.
was like, and they were like, don't let them drive the cart. Like,
You
I
can't
was
even drive a
out
golf-
of
you know it's
control.
bad.
I was completely out of control. And
They take the golf cart keys away from
Right.
you.
And then we went back to the bar where they were doing like this silent auction. It was this thing to like raise money. And I wanted to be there and be present and participate. And I don't remember being there. I'm sure, you know, people were like, well, my friend's wife like bought an item and he and I were completely annihilated. Thought it'd be funny to go hide it from her and hide it in the trunk, you know, like just made it about me. I made it about me. I was a selfish prick. Who
You just
like,
kind of let off with active alcoholism and addiction is that turns us into this selfish.
of course.
person.
And it's not even like, you're not even actively aware of it at the time. You think you're just having a good time, but it's like everything is in service of the party or the next drink or the, you know, cocaine was a way to keep drinking and like those, everything, nothing will be more important than that. Like you might still
Sure.
care about people tangentially, you might, but it'll never, the needs of others will never supersede your need to service thyself.
If they close the bar down, you fuck everybody. You'd leave. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like if I can't get to my alcohol, I don't give a fuck about any of you until I.
Or I'm looking for a way to
Sure.
to keep the party going, you know. But I do remember like, he's had enough.
Yeah, fuck. He gets emergencies. Hey,
Yeah, he's got a fire to put out somewhere.
he's got a client.
I
that's
understand.
Trying to AMA.
I
Needs a
understand.
cigarette.
Let's go through his stuff.
Get over here.
So yeah, man, it was one of those things where we go through this thing and I'm like, I wake up the next day and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, you know, blacked out. Went to this thing to support my friend and the friend, she's still a good friend of mine.
Sure.
God love her. She loved me through the whole thing. And, you know, I wake up and I look in the mirror.
I can
and,
feel it in your gut. I can feel it.
Oh yeah, dude.
I know that fucking feeling. Oh.
The rock in my gut. Because you do have a conscience.
Yeah.
At least I hope.
Rafe, I'm glad I feel it because I'm in
Yeah,
11 and a
yeah.
half years, but hearing your story
Oh yeah.
as someone that's doing okay, pretty good in this, like I need that fucking reminder. I don't ever want to get that feeling again, ever.
Me neither. And that is the gift the sobriety gave me is I don't ever have to be that guy.
No,
again.
sir.
And I worked in a bar when I got sober and I was like, was that hard? And I go, no, because I got to see the fucking guy every night that I never had to be again. Roaming from table to table, bothering the fuck out of people because he thinks he's Johnny Suave and he's just piss drunk. He's annoying. He's repeating himself.
Oh, God.
He's bumming smokes off strangers. And I'm like, you suck. You don't know you suck, but you fucking suck.
Hopefully one day you realize it.
And hopefully one day you realize it, but I don't ever have to be you. I don't have to be the drunkest guy in the bar again. And you know, like, I had a little bit of an existential, and this sounds really fucking, you know, hoity-toity, but I'm just being completely honest. Like, I did have a moment. It felt like Fight Club. I know it sounds really crazy, but like when you...
It doesn't, really, to the people that listen to this.
And probably people that have been through it. Like, I felt like the guy in the mirror was not me. And I felt like... this real call to action in my like gut and my heart to where I was like, there are two people living in one body and one of them has to die. And either this guy is going to kill me and kill everything good and everything worthy and the parts of myself that I felt like were good and decent, or I got to kill him. And it really felt like that was the time where I was like, dude, you got to dig in. Like the line in the sand is now. There's a cliff behind you. There's no more ground to give up. Which sounds very over, and maybe I just had to create that moment for myself to make it real.
I think it's incredible.
I honestly don't know. It might have been.
I can see it in your eyes right now as you talk about it.
Yeah, it was very real to me. And it was like, it was a watershed moment. It was and you don't have to have these to quit. I don't want people to feel like, well, I haven't gotten that, so I guess I'm good. And you don't have to let it get to that point. But there was just a point where I was like, you know what, man? Fuck you. And like the best way I could describe it is disgust. And people will say like, well, you shouldn't hate yourself. You shouldn't. But I'm like, I'll tell you this, man. Disgust can be a powerful motivator.
Yeah.
Disgust can get you over the hump to self-care.
Bingo.
Don't ride whatever emotion you have to ride to get out of hell, right? Because that's where I was. I was in hell.
I can think of 30 people off the top of my head that I know personally that have had the moment that you're talking about, but they're too fucking scared to like say fuck you, like you said to it, and said I'm done. Like, for some reason, it's like I that's my prayer for them. Just hear that and say fuck you. I'm done with this. Like that, because I think they do look in the mirror in the morning, and they've called and told me this.
I know that happens.
Yeah,
that's what when I talk to people and they're struggling, or I talk to I got friends and that need it. I got friends I used to drink with then, they're still drinking. Yeah. And that are hurting. And I get like drunken messages at 3:00 in the morning. Like, man, I wish I could be
I want to fucking name call their asses out right now. Like,
I'm
thinking of
won't. We all have them.
Yeah.
And you love them. And like they stop hanging out with you because there's almost a resentment for your sobriety because they know they need it for themselves.
Bingo.
And I hate that because I'm like, bro, I'm not judging you. Like I would rather you be spending time with me than out tearing yourself apart. But a lot of times, I
connect with you so much.
If somebody's a demon living in hell, they can't hang out with somebody who's not there with them because your sobriety is a reflection of their own failure in their eyes.
Right.
That's not real.
And I want it to be a reflection of hope. Right.
Exactly. And I think it is in moments of crisis.
Sure.
And I've seen people fucked up where I'm like, you don't have to admit it in front of anybody else, but I know that you've had a moment privately. And the same thing with like internet trolls and shit. People that are filled with hate. And I'm like, I know you can be fucking Johnny Cool Nuts, women suck 69.
Yeah.
You misogynistic fuck. But I know that there's a moment in your
Jacob's
life.
Handle.
Right, yeah, that's right. I know, that's why I used his. Love your Reddit page. I know that all those people, you have a moment where you've looked in the mirror and you don't like what's looking back at you. And you won't admit it to yourself. You won't admit it to anyone else, but you've had that moment, and I'm like, ride that fucking moment into greener pastures, man, because you can.
Yeah. It
sucks and it's hard, but you can.
It's better.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. And, and I sat there and I spent some time with myself in the mirror that day, and I was like, I felt like, I hate that old, like, there's two wolves living inside us, and the one who wins is the one you feed. But it's kind of true, right?
I read that at like a truck stop, like self-help.
I actually read it in Willie Nelson's book, which is ironic. Couldn't be a more ironic
Probably got it
place to find it.
Willie on the peace pipe, sure.
Yeah, he was high as a kite when he wrote it.
Yeah.
But it's like the book called The Dowell of Willie, and I read it, and I'm like, all right, well, you know what? And that's the thing, dude. I don't push any kind of literature on anybody.
Sure.
But I'm like, here's what you can do. Because the big pushback all the time. Because, I was in the mirror and being like, dude, this little girl, this child, has the courage to face the grim fucking reaper.
Yeah.
With no help. She's not getting fucked up.
She's feeling every emotion.
And she is literally on the front lines of life and death every day. Got dealt a shitty hand, way shittier than yours. And you can't dig in and sort through your shit and figure out, because it's a symptom, right? Usually alcohol or drug, whatever your thing is. It's usually a symptom, I think, of like a greater problem. Like it is a medication that becomes the disease, right?
Self-medication is
100%. It's a thing that like I'm using this to put off dealing with this, and then the symptom becomes the sickness and becomes a bigger problem than the shit you should have been dealing with.
I wonder too, because so when we start drinking, if we've gone through shit, everybody goes through shit, but if it connects with an alcohol experience, the dopamine level of drinking or doing a drug goes so to a place you haven't fucking been, because your baseline has been dog shit.
Right.
So then you're like, I'm going to keep drinking because that's fun. Because I've never experienced this high before.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, okay, so I'm going to do that because it medicates me from my baseline instead of there's healthy ways to get through that shit. But I'm just thinking out loud and it's a can kicker too, where you could be like,
well, I know I got to deal with all this shit, but I'm 3 beers in.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Tomorrow, I'll get my shit together.
Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I said
100%, dude. And you kick the can to tomorrow, and then you kick it the next day, and you wake up and like, well, day drink.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm going to fucking figure out what's going on. And, and that days become months, and months become years, and pretty soon you pissed your 20s away.
Yeah.
You pissed your prime of your life away in a bottle or whatever your drug of choice is. I mean, everybody deals with it differently. And the thing that I tell people, man, is I'm always like, bro, just take what's useful and leave the rest. I don't care how you get there. Just get there. If you think AA is too fucking religious, cool. You don't find a group that's not.
Sure. They're out there. There
are out there, and there's groups I didn't like. I went to AA where I'm like, I don't like this. I feel like these guys are addicted to the war stories. I don't like this. It feels like another thing for me to get addicted to. Mm-hmm. And it was hard for me as a comic to go in there. Like, I remember I went into like an AA meeting, and the guy's like, I woke up, my mother called me, and she said, your brother's in the hospital. He can't talk. He's black and blue. And I went in there, and my brother was laying in the hospital bed and swole up like a pumpkin. And he was blue, and his head looked like somebody had just beat the hell out of him. They said somebody assaulted him. They damn near killed him. And I leaned down and I said, brother, who did this to you? And he opened one eye and said, you did.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm in the back like, I got drunken wrecked rental cars. They're an AA lights I can go to. I can't top this guy's fucking story. And and if that helps you, cool, do that. If the war stories help, cool. You can find a group, you can find a place that like.
I was at that meeting.
I'm sure. We've all been to that meeting, dude. And it's like, and when I've given the book to my friends, I've given Bill T's book away. And I said, hey man, not everything in here may be for you, but there might be one thing that is. Take that.
It could change the whole trajectory of the guy's
100%,
life,
dude. Read War of Art. Read, if you're an artist and you're struggling, I give people the Artist Way, War of Art. There's a lot of rehab shit in the Artist Way. There's some dangerous, there's like write the apology letter you're never going to get.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
That's in the Artist Way. That was a fucked up thing for me to do. I had to write a letter to myself from my own father, and it's like you sort through some shit. But it's super useful. And like, that's not even designed for recovery, but there's some recovery themes in it because it's like recovering your artistic. So whatever if it's white knuckle, if it's inpatient, if it's outpatient, if it's fucking paying your friend to chain you to the bed like a werewolf, do it. And if none of that works, try it all again.
Whatever it takes.
Just keep trying.
I mean, I'm a big fucking Jesus guy, but my guy I learned from the most is a Buddhist. I get pissed. But a pastor of mine actually told me we were doing some work, and he's like, eat the fish, spit out the bones. And it's
100%
what you're saying. Like I actually had a couple bad experiences at AA where I had some fucking fanatical old timers tell me I wasn't a real alcoholic because I was still going to the tavern a lot, drinking club soda and not hanging out. But even if I was, like, tell that to the fucking people's lives that I burnt bridges down and the house fucking slum I was living in. That I wasn't an alcoholic fucking asshole. But and listen, AA has saved thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives. I believe in it. I advocate it. I advise it to people.
100%.
As a way, not the only way. And that's where human beings fuck shit up because the fanatical old timers, I think, have twisted it. And the guy that wrote the book said it's a way, not the only way.
100%.
And that closes some doors. And I get pissy about that.
Same. And I don't, a lot of my stuff was white knuckle.
Did you go to treatment?
The first year I didn't go into a treatment program. I had done, because of a DUI I'd been ordered to do drug court. Okay. Which they should call that drug school.
Sure.
Because it's usually just people who don't want help finding out who each other's dealer is. But here's the thing. It's still worth doing because I was exposed to the idea of group therapy.
Bingo.
Even if I wasn't open to it at the time, I was exposed to the idea of it. I was exposed to the fact that these programs existed. And there was at least one. I always felt bad for the guy in there really wanting to help.
Yeah.
because it was like 3 guys that really wanted help, because this was a men's group. 3 guys that really wanted help, and then 9 fucking people trying to avoid a jail sentence.
Bingo.
But what sucks is like if one of those 9 guys trying to avoid the jail sentence, it may not have taken hold that moment, but the seed was planted.
Sure.
You know, and I've seen guys from that program that got home, you know. And I'm always grateful for that, dude, because that's the other thing is like, you know, I don't want to be too hyperbolic because I don't like it when it's like the old timers, the war story thing. But it is a personal battle. And to some people, it's a war they don't win.
No, yeah.
You know, I've buried people, man.
Yeah.
I've buried people I love from alcohol. I've buried people I love from drugs. I've buried people I love from suicide because they couldn't get out of.
It's all intertwined, too.
It's all intertwined. And I try to live from a place of being really grateful, dude, because not everybody gets home. And that's the truth.
Amen.
This disease is hard. It's a bastard, and it's a monkey on your back. And like, I am always eternally grateful for every day that I'm sober because not everybody comes home. Some people do. They just don't win, man. They can't beat it, you know? And it's like, they could, they didn't take the turn they needed to take, or they didn't feel like there was hope. And that's why, going back to like when people reach out to me, I really do try to respond and be like, I'm not going to be your Obi-Wan. I don't have time. I can't be everyone's sponsor.
Right.
But I'll give you a realistic, here, go to these people. This is what
Connect
they do.
some dots. Yeah, for sure.
This is what these people do. They're better at it than me.
Right.
I'll be glad to share my perspective and like how I got, like, it's all the stuff I'm telling you guys right now. It's like, this is what I tell people when I sit down and have coffee or go out to have lunch. And I'm like, this is what happened to me. This is how I got home. And every day, you know, is a renewed vow to try to just be like, I'm just trying to maintain it, you know.
A couple of things you said that I really, really appreciate. I subscribe to. I like a lot the group therapy thing. I went to inpatient and I needed it especially for medical detox. And I needed that reset. But then I went from inpatient to outpatient, and in outpatient is when I did group work in residential, but it was outpatient. It was a year of group work. And that was so fucking critical to me, and realize I'm not alone. I'm not the worst. There's people battling this shit. You're kind of forming a football team against the enemy here. And
sure,
it was super helpful. And I did that for a year. And then I've been in a small group ever since, really. And there's something about group learning, and we've talked about it from highly alt-right fucking Bible Belt AA programs to satanic programs. They all have 3 things in common, and it's group learning with like-minded people,
right?
Abstinence from your drug of choice or alcohol, not fucking like you thought when we first said it. He's not one of us. But
yeah.
He does ask the questions, which we need.
You're not a virgin?
He just had a baby.
Don't tell my mom.
Yeah.
Sinner. Jeffrey's a sinner. A little too progressive.
And honesty.
Yeah.
You got to be honest with yourself and with your group.
Yeah, man.
Same thing you said earlier. You advocated going to a therapist, and if you go to a therapist and you lie to your therapist, you're fucking. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
You're bullshitting yourself.
Yeah.
What are you going to
lie to your dentist?
Sure.
Tell them you've been flossing. That hurts no one. They know you're lying, but it doesn't hurt you. Don't lie to your therapist.
When did you get into the stand up? Were you doing that while you were drinking?
No.
Okay.
God, no. I'd have burned my fucking career to the ground so many times. I think about that too, dude. If I was still drinking, because it's not like, it ain't like the 80s. It's a business, man. You got to show up and deliver the goods. A lot of money, tickets.
Sure.
And there's so many people doing stand-up now. Like in the 80s, there was like 9 people doing stand-up. So it's like, fuck.
Right.
Sam Kinison didn't show up for his gig in Santa Monica. Don't do that again, Sam.
You better go to the early show, because by the 9 o'clock show, he's going to be fucking
now
slurring.
It's like, oh, hey, man, you burned us. Fuck you. There's 100 other comics I'll book over you.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm grateful that And that was all, there was part of that too. I think I knew, God, it sounds so fucking lame to say, but I'll just
do it.
Being honest.
Just do it.
To me, it's a calling.
Thank you.
And I felt like comedy was my calling. I felt like it was my purpose. And I felt like I was denying that purpose out of fear. And I think that was part of, there was like a lot of like childhood trauma shit. There was a lot of fear, just the fear of like, it was something I really cared about. And I didn't, and like, when you're like the cool, I'll fail at anything. I don't give a fuck. This world owes me I don't give a shit. What? But when you actually secretly care about something, like failing at that would have mattered to me.
Sure.
So it's easier not to try. And I think that was the thing I was kicking the can on a little bit and not knowing. And I'm like, at 33 years old, which is in an ageist business, not a great time to start.
Yeah, I was thinking
it was kind of like shit or get off the pot, man.
Yeah.
Are you going to go for it or not? And I had a friend and it hurt. Oh, fuck, I'm pissed. I want to punch him in the face right now. He loved me enough to come see me and say, he's like, man, I've known you since we were 5 years old. This guy's still my best friend. And he said, he goes, I think you could be, because I was entertaining as a kid. I used to do shit. I go to his parents' house were kind of like my safe haven. His parents were like my second parents. And I knew at their house I was safe. Right? And I could I'm not going to get my ass beat. I'm not going to get a belt. I'm not going to get knocked around. I'm not going to get,
Can I tell you I'm sorry that this happened to you? Like,
yeah, thank you for that. No, that's cool.
I mean, I've been serious, man. My wife's a therapist, too. And so she'd be proud of me for saying that.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's the thing, like,
I offer her up to Tim all the time.
The thing about, like...
She doesn't know.
The thing about, and I'm like, I don't know where you stand on, like, punishment and shit like that. But here's what I'll tell you, anybody listening about hitting your kids. If the punishment is the same for whether you burn down the neighbor's house or you forgot to wash a fork, it has no value. It just becomes torture that the kid's trying to avoid. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying you can't spank a kid or something like that, but I'm telling you, if you do, use it sparingly and don't let it come from a place of anger. I would say find another way. And I'm not one of these guys that's like, get down on their level and be like, Spencer. If they're 3 and they're throwing a tantrum, pick them up and get them out of the fucking restaurant. Dude.
Yeah.
But, the thing that I tell people, and that was the thing I had to like sort through, is like the punishment has to fit the crime. And like my dad was the kind of dude that just like he beat the shit out of you for whatever. I remember getting a whipping one time because he was like, I know you did something today and I'm too tired to ask.
Nice.
So I'm just going to whip your ass, like bend over and grab the couch arm and I'm going to whip your ass. And then I know I got you. And I'm just like, what that does to a kid is just like, oh, there's no value in good and bad.
Right.
I'm intrinsically bad. You're telling a kid they're intrinsically bad. So like you're sorting through that shit. You're sorting through like that. Probably wanted to be a comedian. And I had a friend, his house was like my safe haven and I would go there. And Gary and Phyllis Jones, if you're, I think I get emotional today. If they're watching or listening to this, you saved my life.
Amen, man.
But he's been my friend since we were kids, and he came to me one night, and he's like, I was always like busting up. I recorded over their family Christmas one time.
Nice.
On their camcorder,
like a bit.
Yeah, I did all the Star Trek characters. Like,
wasn't one
Ace
of those.
Ventura had just come out, and dude, I took like the tassel off of his 8th grade graduation thing, and I made it an eyebrow, and I was like, damn it, Jim, and I'm like doing all the characters, and it was about how, in hindsight,
Mr. and Mrs. Jones,
Spock and Kirk were gay and in love, and I told the whole story, and I know that's not cool, and I've learned a lot, and I've grown since then, but that was funny when I was 11 years old. And I like taped my ears shut and did Spock, and then I took his dad's razor and pretended to commit space suicide because because Spock didn't love me back because he was incapable of emotion and didn't tell anybody, and just left it. And like 7 or 8 years went by, and I get a phone call on Christmas from his dad, and he's like, you fucking asshole. And I go, and I'm grown at this point. I'm like 20 at this point. It might have been 10 years. And they're like, we just got out all these old family grandkids. And we're like watching all these oldies. Like we're in the middle of watching them grow. Childhood memories of our children opening gifts. And right in the middle of it, you're like talking about, I got my grandkids sitting there, they're like, I'm in love with you, Jim. I'm in love with you, Spock. I want to fuck you, Spock. And he's like, I'm trying to scramble to turn the VCR off, you know.
Oh, shit.
So these people, you know, and they gave me a space to be silly and to like embrace that side of myself. And my dad wasn't like that. My dad was very much tried to squash that part of me. He was a very like your typical, you know, ex-high school, you know, Midwestern guy. You were an extension of his penis. Like his kids were an extension of him. They weren't real people, you know. I know it's unfortunate, but that's just how it was. Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have a relationship, and like, you know, it's sad, but it's just kind of like I forgave him without being asked. Mm-hmm. You know, I gave the
powerful shit.
I gave the forgiveness that he would.
How did that feel?
It's good. It's released. Well, that's how you get out of this shit.
People struggle with that.
Yeah, all
day long.
Well, that's how you get out of this kind of shit, man. You have to forgive people that may not ever come and ask for it. And like sometimes forgiveness isn't necessarily about getting the apology you need as much as it's just. I know it's corny, but it's like you have to like be like, I forgive you. If you knew better, you do better.
It's a liberation.
Yeah.
Of your, like when you're able to get there. I think to your point earlier, it takes work. You gotta.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean,
it wasn't like an epiphany that happened overnight. It took.
You can't just say, I'm going to choose today.
Oh, yeah, but I did. Like, you know, I tell people that, and then I'll see my uncles and be like, "Hey, I saw your dad. He's big time into QAnon, and
fuck,
he's got a rebel flag up in his yard." And I go, doesn't sound like I want to rekindle. Sounds like we're probably good, and I'll just take my imaginary apology and go home.
Farther apart.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like he's changed a whole lot, and that's the thing that sucks.
Does he drink?
Like, no,
that's like the one thing missing from my like vision of your old man is that
no, he really wasn't a drinker, just a miserable son of a bitch on his own. And you know what? I'm being hard on him. He probably did the best he could with the tools.
This is the healing. He's been through some.
Well, his dad was like a literal hobo. His dad like rode the train and like fucking would leave and go be gone. Mm-hmm. And he was the oldest in his family, and he had to take on a lot of responsibility at a young age. And like, I think he just didn't have the skill set and the tools to be a father. And I forgive him for that. But that doesn't mean I want to fucking hang out with you if you're, you know.
How are your brothers?
My younger brother's of my ilk, but he's 10 years younger than me. And my mom and dad got divorced when I was like 22. So my younger brother was, I was probably 21. So my younger brother was 11. So he didn't really grow up with them in the house. He had the life of Riley, dude. He lived in my mom's basement until he was 30.
Okay. He's still chirping for it, right?
Yeah, he's cool. He's fine.
God bless.
So my middle brother is a glutton for punishment because when you raise kids in that environment, you get two types of kids. You get the I'll never fucking be like you kid, and I want to be just like you kid. And I feel bad because my brother's 40 years old and he still goes, you know, you get kicked in the head by a mule and you just go stand right behind a mule again. He can fall down the well 100 times and he's going to walk right into the hole. Damn. And he just keeps going back, like seeking his approval. And I'm like, brother, fuck him. Like he ain't worth it. But it's like, that's what you get. You get people who emulate it and like constantly seek it. And I probably wanted it too. That was a big part of why I drank, I'm sure. And I'm not blaming everything on my dad. That's not fair to him. Like that was a piece of the puzzle. Genetics was another piece. My mom's real dad died of alcoholism.
Okay. And
like my mom never knew him, but he like lived in Chicago. So there was like a lot of pieces to the puzzle. But I remember my friend, you know, he came to the bar after growing up with him and like, you know, being funny. I was always doing funny stuff at school, putting on little performances. Like he, you know, 33 years old and he came to see me and this is when it had gotten away from me pretty bad. And he's just like, dude, you know what's makes me sad? Is that I truly believe you could be the funniest guy on the planet and you're going to settle to be the funniest guy in the bar.
That's profound.
And that makes me sad for you. And of course, when you're in the throes of it, you're like, fuck you, dude. You don't know me. You're like bowing up on your friend. Fuck you, dude. You're going bald. And it's like, he's like, all right, you didn't have to say that. That's fine. Yeah. You know, you're like, of course, you're like lashing
anything
out.
to deflect
Of
that.
course.
Was this still down in?
I was in Edwardsville at this time.
Okay.
I lived in Edwardsville then. And because I did that thing where like, I know what I'll do. I'll move towns.
Right.
And my problems won't come with me.
Big town Eversville.
I was like, I'll get out of Carbondale. I'll go to SIUE. The E makes it fancy.
And they still have Halloween. I fucked up Halloween.
Yeah, they allow Halloween in Edwardsville. I'll be high society.
Oh, did you ever get fucking down there?
I got maced. Yeah.
God.
I mean, we were hanging out on the strip in my teens. My friend's brother owned Sticks Bar and Billiards. And we would hide in the office during the day till it opened.
Nice.
And we'd ride the freight elevator up and party with college
Do you guys
girls.
know this story?
No.
The Carbondale, like Halloween used to turn into fucking drunk, like there was riots, right?
Yeah. They'd like flip cars.
At the university. I mean, it was the biggest party.
19-year-old drinking age.
What is
Great idea.
Sounds like
And then
Eagles
what-
fans or something.
Penny
It was
pitchers.
kind of Pinch Penny Pub.
Pinch
and
Penny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it got out of
So
control.
they closed it. They closed campus for, years. I think they just within the 2010s opened it again, but it was closed for almost 20 years where they closed the dorm, sent kids home because it got so fucking. Well, a buddy of mine said him and one of his fat friends were running from the cops, and sorry for fat shaming, but look at me. And he said that they heard the guy dropped. And he goes, go down, save yourself. And he got hit with one of those bean bags. He's like, it's a fucking bean bag. It's get your fat ass up. But
he's like, there's beans in it. You fat piece of shit.
said he had to help throw him over the fence.
They're not pork and beans, you dumb fuck. Get up.
But yeah, I meant to ask you that earlier when you were down there. And I'm sure you found your way to a couple Halloween bars.
Oh, yeah. I did that. I had to do the walk of shame as Zorro one time. I was sad.
It was like shooting
One
fish in a barrel.
of the drunkest, going home with a girl. Every girl looks hot when she's dressed as Catwoman. And then she took the Catwoman outfit off, and I was like, "Hey."
Still tap that ass, though, didn't you?
I mean, I was stuck.
Right.
I was stuck, brother, overnight. And then I just remember getting to the house, and her roommate was there, and her roommate was like, all right, see you later. I go, weird time with a roommate to take off. And I'm
committed.
And I'm in full Zorro gear, dude. Mask, hat, sash, cape, sword. And she's like taking her Catwoman makeup off or whatever. And I hear in the other room, I hear and she's like, hey, could you go check on him for me? And I go, huh? Oh, you got a dog or something?
Uh-oh.
And she's just like, oh, that's my son.
That's my son.
And I go into this nursery, and there's a 2-year-old kid in Blue's Clues jammies, standing on the edge of a crib, and I'm drunk, but I'm a dad at this point, so I'm like, I know how to.
All right.
I picked this kid up. I'm like, hey, buddy, how's it going? And I'm
In
like,
a Zorro costume.
patting him on. Yeah, and I forget. And then I look I was like a full-length mirror in the nursery, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. You have a mask on. This kid's this is a traumatic imprint.
This kid is now in therapy telling the same
Well, and
story.
that's the thing, he was just of that age where the memory's going to be in there, but not clear. Or he's going to be like, I think my dad was Batman or something. He's probably that kid somewhere thinks his dad's like a superhero. I just remember waking up the next day, didn't have any clothes, still had my Zorro outfit on, and I'm eating Cheerios out of a bag watching Blue's Clues with this kid who thinks Batman's his dad. And I'm like, I got to go to work. And she's like, I can't drive. I don't have my car's not here.
I'm still blowing up 1.6.
Yeah. And I go, okay. And I just start walking down the highway. And a cop stopped, and he's like, long night? And I go, yeah, man, I went home with Catwoman. It's a long story. And then he's like, he just laughed and drove away. And I'm like, that's why people hate cops, man. You could have given me a fucking ride. I had to walk an hour. I had to walk another mile and a half into town dressed like an asshole.
Oh,
yeah, will I fight Santa Anna's army? Yeah, I will. Piece of shit. Was things like that happen to you, and it's I've done my time.
My cheeks hurt.
I've done my time, my wild times. And it's what were we even talking about?
So this is great. Your friend tells you that, and
yeah. So
this is your best. The Joneses' son. You want to punch him in the face. You don't.
Well, of course. Just in that moment, I remember being so mad because it's hard to hear when you're not ready to hear a hard truth, man. Brother. When you're not ready to hear a hard truth, it is a double nut tap. It hurts.
It does.
It fucking
drops
hurts.
You to your knees.
It does. It gets some grazes in both, and it's not fun. But he loved me enough to risk losing me as a friend to just help me save my own life. And that's real friendship.
You and him still close? So,
oh yeah, we'll be best friends to the day. You know, I mean, we may not talk all the time. Life gets in the way, but it's one of those dudes. I'll pick up where we left off.
I was telling someone today, and I say it often because I'll preach it from the top of a mountain that form a internal board of directors in your life and make sure they're fucking know people that'll tell you the hard truth, to use your term.
Oh,
and make sure that you will, that they won't yes man you or yes woman you or do all that shit. So
why am I here in the ocean right now?
I know. I'm like, what's going on?
I was just wondering the same thing.
Like, is it raining outside or something? But no.
What's going on?
Could be. You can. We got some software.
Oh yeah, we won't hear this on.
It's all good.
And we don't edit.
I just want to make sure I wasn't.
Yeah, I know.
We're trying to psychotic break.
I'll have to text Jeff and ask him if he's here, and if it's just my head.
We're trying to put you to sleep, hypnotize you a little bit from the Zorro.
No, you guys got nice relaxing waves on. Let's all meditate.
As a father, myself, when you talk about this, the childhood trauma and the discipline shit, it's not because I'm some saint. I was trying to get laid, so my wife was going through foster parent training. So I'm like, okay, I'll sign up, and I do like kids, and not in a creepy fucking way. Like,
go ahead and qualify that.
I better put that out there.
Pull that for TikTok.
Yeah.
I love kids.
Fucking context. But you have to go through this training to be a foster parent, and they teach you the shit that you see and hear about kids getting cigarettes put out of them and just the fucking tar kicked out of them. It makes me fucking rageful and like,
yeah, man.
It's not ever. It just fuck. I hate bullies. Like
me too. And that was the one gift he gave me. That was the one gift that growing up like that gave me was. And in comedy, you should punch up. You should be anti-authoritarian. That's why when I see all these comedians now sucking the government off, I don't fucking get it. I go, well, that's not what we do.
Right.
We're supposed to rail against them. I didn't become a comedian so I could march in lockstep with the rest of the rubes in society who have like chosen a tribe. Like we're supposed to call out bullshit where we see it. That's our job. Is like we hold a mirror up to society.
Right.
And it's weird to see. But that was the gift that he gave me was I can't fucking stand bullies. Yeah. I bully bullies. Because I grew into being a big dude. My dad's 6'4". He's like 200. He's a huge guy. And that was the other thing. Like you grew up in the shadow of this. Like he was people in town were scared of him. Yeah. Like he got like the respect of other dads because they're like, your dad will fight on a drop of a hat. And like that's like that's measure. Cool. Yeah, but like in redneck land, that is the measure of a man, like that mattered. Like
that's who's got the big
silly.
Dick,
It's just a big dick measuring contest and sucks and it's stupid and it's fucking toxically masculine, but that's part of being a Midwest male.
Chaz was over the other day, Jacob, and Chaz was talking to Holly, who's his wife's a therapist, my wife's therapist. Chaz Ozen's a mental. I fucking blow him at every show because he's really smart. And he was like talking about toxic masculinity, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like leaning in. I'm like, and it was like, and the women should do kind of what, and I was like, he goes, this is all a lie. I'm like, he's like, you're buying into the word. I'm like, oh no, sorry, what were you saying? I like really was like leaning into this shit. Yeah. I'm like, oh fuck, so she's supposed to cook for me? He's like, no, dumb motherfucker.
I am the king of my castle. Now that you mention it,
we're gonna have Chaz his private practice is a sponsor of the show. And we'll have him on one day so he can blow me to smithereens.
Well, it's
and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Right.
Another clarification. But as a parent now, as a father, how many is it? Just the one kid, or
I had one kid, and I got my first hour of stand-up's called Young Grandpa because I became a grandpa when I was 36.
A gilf.
I was a gilf.
All right.
36, baby. And you get the third. I think my son, we had struggles. You err the other way. That's what's fucked up about the window of getting it right in parenting is so small. I
didn't even know it existed.
Before
I feel like I'm failing
between overly strict and overly indulgent, and I think I did the thing where like it's the sins of the father, man. They come around, and I became a little too buddy dad. I didn't want to be disciplinarian at all.
Makes sense.
And I think he needed that from me. And I think there's some resentment and also his mom like moved away. So I didn't see him all the time. I had like periods of his time, and I'm not making excuses. I should have tried harder. That was on me. I was drinking, and I could
You're young, yeah,
I could
man.
shore it up. You know, if I had him, I was fine because I was
Sure.
I was a binger.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I wasn't living for him.
Sure.
And when you're a parent, you should be.
That's
It's
not about you
unfortunate.
anymore.
Yeah, and I've
But fuck, you were what, 19?
Yeah, 19 to like 29 was not.
For the record, I mean, I got sober at 30, and then
Yeah.
and Charlie was placed with us when we were 34 or whatever. So I mean,
Mhm.
God forbid I dodged some bullets, not becoming a parent at 20.
You got kids?
Yeah, I got one daughter,
How old?
10. So
Huh?
10 years old.
10.
So I was
All right. 10.
20.
She's a sweetheart angel. I don't know how.
Great. Well, that's the thing, man. It's like, and I gave him, whether it's not enough sometimes, because I could tell there's still like some like, every boy too, like you climb over your old man, dude. It's such a fucking patriarchal, toxic thing, but it is like, it's just part of the deal, right? And it's like, I gave him the thing I always wanted, which was I sat down and I apologized. And I said, hey, dude, however you feel, you have the right to feel that way. I know you love me. I know I let you down in a lot of ways. No one's harder on it themselves than I am. Like the intrusive thoughts. And I'm like, I should have, because it's like, there's things that go on with parents, and like me and his mom didn't see eye to eye on stuff, but I'm not going to trash her. I'm not going to sit there. That doesn't help anybody.
No.
Right.
And she was a good mom, and she took care of him. And like,
And you're taking accountability. I mean, that's
accountability,
what's key to
dude.
fucking
And that's
sobriety.
the thing. It is. And sometimes it's even caused, I'm just curious, because I want to hear you guys' opinion about this, because I was thinking about this on the way over here. But like, I sat down and I said, hey, man, anything you got to say to me, say it. If you're mad at me, tell me why you're mad at me. And I'll apologize, but I'll hear you. I want you to know that you're heard, that you're loved. And I'm not a perfect human, but I can make up for it on the back end, right? Like, I can't change when you were a kid. I can't change that I wasn't there to toss the ball at 8 or all these pivotal moments that you lived in a different place and I wasn't there. But we can move forward, and I'm here, and and we've worked on that together. And I love my grandkids. They're awesome. 2 little girls, and thank God, too many dudes. Way too much dude energy in my family. And having little girls are awesome. And that's, being a grandparent's that 20,000-foot view you wish you'd had as a parent, where you're
he's
like,
got his child. She's going to be in high school in a couple years, and then he'll be like, "Fuck,"
well, you get
because
that
he's the dad.
You get that viewpoint too of like, oh, just love them, man. Don't put your bullshit into them. Because when you're a parent, you're like, oh, I gotta make mold you.
So
And
it's the
like,
hardest job on the fucking planet.
Terrified they're going to be just like you, so you're trying to
right?
overcompensate the other way to.
Thanks for
100%,
sharing all this.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it.
I'm
It's
pretty open book about
man.
that stuff, man. Like,
there's so many people that are in active addiction right now, struggling with parenting. I mean, she was how old was
a little over a year old when I got clean.
Yeah.
So
she doesn't remember you being an asshole.
no, thank God. Well,
great.
she still remembers me being an asshole.
Yeah,
just
that's
got
his
fucked
fucking
up.
baseline, right?
Well, and it's kind of interesting to me. Like, I don't know how you guys feel. Because I have a lot of people that'll check in with me when they get their chip and stuff like that, and I'm like, accountability is important, and it's huge in all aspects. And I try to be, because the thing that happens, I felt like around year 3 was when it stopped being a thing I was doing. If that makes sense.
It does.
Huh?
No, I absolutely.
Like when I quit drinking, I felt like I went to AA for the first year because I had a friend who was wanting to quit, and we went and did like meetings because he needed them, and I was like, whether it was for me or not,
You do serve, man. That's been
it was good to be. It was good to be in there, and I learned
story.
that like, okay, cool. We're doing that, and I'll catch a meeting still occasionally if I'm feeling weird or something like that. But the hardest thing, and I think people struggle with this, was the social.
Right.
For me, there's probably, I didn't like wake up and put vodka on my Cheerios. I wasn't that kind of drinker. There are those kinds of drinkers. I was a binge drinker.
Me at the end.
And it was like, it became my personality. And I was like, without this, who am I?
An identity.
If I'm not the good time Charlie, then who the fuck am I? And that was a real struggle for me. And I felt like I needed to justify it. Like people, and your friends will be like, bullshit. you're doing this shot fucking Rumplemans right now. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
So I used to brush my teeth in the morning, baby.
You are fucking doing this. And I'm like, this is not the support I need. You know, and you had to cut ties with some of those folks.
You like that Rumples too, didn't you?
Loved me some Jameson and the Rumps, dude.
See, would you shoot the JMO?
Yeah.
I was a Canadian blend whiskey guy, and then, but towards the end, it was the plastic jugs. A Rich and Rare was
sure, whatever was cheap.
Right, and then shooting Rumplemans on top, and oh fuck, you can start a car with Rumplemans.
100%, and that was it. Was all drinking to get to a place. You know, like I was never
got there.
I just never. Someone's like, I have 2 drinks. And I'm like, why?
Right. What's wrong with you?
For what purpose?
Right.
Oh, you're normal. Okay, cool. But you know,
bro, my wife
I
will
tell
leave
people
a bottle.
like year 3 was where I stopped feeling like I needed to explain it to people, or like it just was who I was. It wasn't like a thing I was trying out. I'm like, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing like 70 hard or whatever.
Right.
I'm doing keto. And
Tell somebody that gives a fuck.
Yeah, it stopped being It stopped being I'm vegan. I'm vegan now. It stopped being a thing that I was doing, and it was just who I am. I just don't drink. I don't drink. I don't feel the need to justify it to people. And, you know, I just was out the other night and there was some really blacked out, drunk fucking people around me that I wanted to. Mm-hmm. For the first 10 years, I felt super obligated to like endure it, where I'd be like, I owe this to the world.
You've done your time.
I've been this person, but I've done my fucking time now. And where I'm like, yo.
It's so annoying.
Get the fuck away from me. And I'm like, we might be friends in a different context. I want to hear your story for the 15th time. I don't want you groping me. Get the fuck away from me. And like, I'll just peace out on people now. And it took me a while to get there, you know, and it's like, you can feel however you want to feel when you're sober, you know, and that was part of the accountability thing. And like, I don't know how you guys felt.
Well,
like, I don't know if there was ever a point where you guys like got to a point where you're like, this is just kind of who I am now. Or if you still, you know, I don't know what that's like for people.
I think being in this space around people that are on day one, you know, we're conditioned to talk about it and be a part of it. But to your 3-year point, you know, I remember I was counting every day, and every day was a fucking gift that I didn't drink for the first. Yeah. I don't know if it was 3 years, but you know, it's like sounds
reverse.
Like a good range.
It's reverse prison, dude. The time becomes your friend. Where you're like, right. I did 30, I could do 60.
Oh,
60.
big time! And I was counting them on a journal. And
6 months. I did a year. I can do 2 years.
Bingo.
And then at some point, I stopped counting.
Sure.
Yeah, 3 years, and it's very common. It's actually real common years. Like that's where like it becomes your life almost. It's just who you are. Yeah, like 3 years is very common in recovery.
Rule of threes in comedy. Like you can't, when you tell a joke, you have to establish a pattern. You need to have a pattern. You need a group of it. Right. The 3 is the smallest grouping you can have before something is solidified, right? Like if I say I walk into a men's locker room and it smells like sweat, feet, and divorce, right? People usually laugh at the divorce part because it's like, oh, that's not a smell. But if I just said it smells like sweat and divorce, you're like, oh wait, what? Yeah. But it's like you've made that sweat. That's a thing. Feet, that stinks. Divorce. Oh, that's an abstract idea, you fucking silly man. But it's like that is I think that's why that number is so common.
A lot of times when you see 3 years, that's when you know like somebody's like almost want to say like they're all in, but like they're in it now. Like they live recovery. Yeah. It's who they are.
And that's usually when they tell you can like start to sponsor people. You know what I mean? Like that's a good clip.
I got it. Yeah.
I was telling somebody recently that just approached and I think hit 3 years. I'm like, I go, and I just be proud. Like, that's a sustainable amount of fucking clean time.
3 years? Oh, yeah.
Especially, I mean, not ranking drugs, but there's some hard shit out there that just takes your brain the fuck over. And I think it's really, worry about it. It's really to your point, I mean, that's a substantial amount of time. And it was longer than 3 years that I stopped counting the day because I was writing every day, and I fifth grade teacher taught me everything you write, put the date on it. Mm-hmm. So I still to this day when I'm taking notes at my desk, I'll date it. So underneath the date, I would write the day I had since my last drink, March 25th, 2014. So I'll always remember that day because that was it. That was the best day of my life. But yeah, I get it a lot in the professional setting. You know, our 18 listeners aren't paying the bills doing this podcast, but so I do have a job in it.
Well, you're up to 18?
Right, maybe.
He's lying. It's like 4.
The Joneses. We're going to get the Joneses listening. So
20.
We get to 20, maybe.
They won't listen.
Right. They're still pissed off about
They've
the
heard
Christmas video you fucked up.
I'm giving that all she's got, Captain. In the boat. Which was high comedy at that time.
Sure was. What was I saying now? The 18 listeners.
Something heartfelt.
I've had a job.
Profound.
I have a job.
There we go.
And we do a lot of dinners and shit and entertaining. I mean, it's sales, right? So
Sure.
I remember early on, I was like, well, how am I gonna go to a network happy hour, a business happy hour? And a guy told me, he's like, you know what, Chris? Nobody gives a fuck about what you're drinking. Right. They just care about what they're drinking. And I've always been I switched from whiskey and I drink club soda to this day.
Sure.
So I just have and then when somebody does find out I'm not drinking, I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm almost 10 years sober. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. And then you can see their eyes roll back and they start wondering.
Cool, man.
How many did I have?
See you later.
Yeah, right. Fucking loser.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
But before they call me a loser, they do a real self-inventory about where they're at.
Yeah.
I get that quite a bit.
Yeah. That's like I told you.
I hang out with a lot of coked up motherfuckers too, so they're probably all like, oh, fuck.
Because of the business aspect.
Well,
yeah.
You know.
That's true.
And I grew up in Belleville.
Yeah. I mean, Belleville, that's like...
I got to make
amends. You do the
amends.
Pledge of Allegiance, and then you do a big fat gagger.
To make amends.
In grade school.
I'm going to need your friend's number that got robbed with the shoes and the Wadham County.
I hope he's listening.
Dumb, I'm sorry.
Well, and that's, you said 8 years, Jacob, and then you said 10?
11 and a half, but who's counting?
11 and a half. Oh, that's awesome. Like 13 is where I really felt like when I got the baker's dozen, I was like, I think I'm ready to go public and really feel like I can talk about this. But you always got to keep perspective, because I know that like deep inside me, there's a genie in a bottle, dude. There's a little Jameson bottle that lives right here. And there's a dude in there with his nose pressed up against the glass. And there's a cork in it. And he's just like, let me out. I'm cool. Let me out for one day, dude. I promise to be good.
Right.
And I'm like, you a liar. I know you and you're a liar. But I know that he's in there. You know, right. And I try to keep perspective and
just hope that genie doesn't turn into a blonde with big tits and then it's harder to shut down.
Get out here. The thing that for people that are listening to this and might be wondering, the thing that was important to me was talked about accountability. Oh shit, sorry. You know, I became reliably unreliable. I damaged, and you may be feeling like that. And then like the guilt of like knowing that you have a bad reputation, that you've done irreparable harm to, because I think inside of me, I'm like, I know that I'm a good and decent human being, and I try to treat people well. We all have our flaws. We all have our blind spots. I try to use therapy and friendship to address those things. And comedy is a blind spot. And we can get to that. But it's like, you can, if you're wondering, because I know I was wondering when I got sober, you can repair your reputation. It takes time,
sure,
a commitment, accountability, and you may not be able to repair it with everybody.
You don't need a PR team either, man.
You don't. You just
actions.
Just a little bit of consistency. And dude, yes, there are people who we just live in this world too. There's people I'll see. I'm 14 and some change, and people that I haven't seen would love to remind you of the last time you were fucked up. Right? They'll be like, ho-ho!
Fuck, I get it all the time.
Mr. Pee-Pee Pants! Last time I saw you, dude, you were passed out on a Prairie Farms milk crate with 2 cigarettes hanging out of your mouth and a pants full of piss. And I'm like, thank you, Aunt Patty. That was 20 years ago, bitch. And it's like, you've been sitting on that? You've seen me several times since. There are always people who want to celebrate your failures. You can't and fuck those people.
Yeah.
Right.
You can, with most people that matter, you can repair your reputation with time. I like to think, I meet people now who are like, I can't even imagine you not being. I can't imagine what you were like.
Sure, I get that.
I was just about to say that too. After you get some time, because I was an IV, heroin, homeless, drug addict. So my reputation was not good when I got clean. And most of the people in my life today, they're like, I can't picture you fucked up. Like, how does And like, to me, like talking about like fixing your reputation, like the biggest one for me was like my own like personal self-belief reputation, you know? And like all
you
do
got to
is,
believe it.
Yeah. And that you get that in recovery.
Yeah.
Like if you just keep the accountability is huge, the staying sober obviously is going to be a big component there. Just doing that next right thing, making your amends to making it for yourself.
When you can, when it doesn't do harm to others.
Like that past self of you doesn't exist anymore.
That genie in the bottle, though, that you are talking about,
right?
Man, I fucking resonate. I've been going through I've been probably going through the hardest, like professional. I mean, fucking brutal. Like I was telling Jacob before this started, 95% of my life's on fire. I have like 95% though, so 95%. The other is on fire the other way, and then I'm doing pretty good. With the girl that for some reason said yes to me, she's one that can't imagine me in this previous life. She'll hear stories and I'm like, you would have fucking loved me drunk. She's like, I wouldn't have fucking talked to you for 1 second unless you were my homeless client. Because she was a social worker.
You talked to me for 1 second.
Right.
Well, I was fun for a night. I was fun for a night, but not for any other length of time. I was fun to go out with and be like, he's kind of funny, he's kind of crazy. Oh, he just broke that guy's couch.
Right.
Oh no. He's pissing himself.
Yeah.
He's peeing on my back right now.
He's banging Catwoman. But you said earlier that what helps and it's serving and whatever that looks like to you.
Yep.
But we do the group on Saturday nights, and when I'm with clients that are on day 1 through 30, I'm like, I just thank them. I'm like, you're reminding me that I don't have this in the bag. This is not. This isn't. I didn't cross the finish line. Especially as hard as shit has been lately. Like I need to meet and spend time with the people that are 30 days in, 60 days in, and be there for them, and they're there for me, and they don't even know it. So there's something to that serving that keeps that genie in that fucking
and
Jameson.
Don't believe the hype either, man. Like I've had people come up to me, it feels good, and it's a temptation, to be the second coming for people where they're like, I had like a listener come up with his wife at an event, and he goes, "Hey, you saved his life," and I was like, "Nah." He saved his life.
Right.
Bingo.
All I did was point him in the right direction. And that's as easy as this.
Right.
I didn't do shit. He did it. He cared about himself enough and you and your family because, they had their kids with him and stuff. And I'm like, that is flattering, but false. I didn't save shit, man.
You listened.
I listened and I gave you a resource and you took the wheel and you are kicking ass. And like, you can't ever believe that. You always be of service, but don't become a guru.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen guys do that.
I'm happy you said that because I get that like in treatment working here, you get that a lot.
Sure.
Definitely from families. And like I have clients I've talked to 5 years, 6 years clean now. And they'll say that like, it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done like, no, like you did it. Like
and
I don't do anything.
Man. It's hard work.
I just give you.
I'm a secondary character.
Yeah. Like I point in a direction, you went that direction. That's on you. You got to take credit for that. So.
I always follow that up with now be a listener and point somebody in the direction because they're gonna come to you, and that's how this thing goes.
That's how it works, and what's the old Robert Downey Jr. thing? And I send this to people when they ask, and I go, hugging the cactus. You got to learn to love the ugly parts of yourself. That is a hard thing to do, and it's like he always credits Mel Gibson. He's like, Mel's not a perfect guy.
Yeah, I heard that,
but I'll always. He gave me a chance. He put me in a movie when no one would touch me with a 10-foot pole. And he told me, buddy, you got to learn to love the cactus. You got to hug the cactus, the parts of yourselves that hurt and are ugly and are prickly. And, he's always like, I'll always be grateful to him for that. And what do I owe you? And he goes, you owe me nothing. Your job is to pass it on to the next guy. And that's the way I feel about anyone's like, oh, you
except for the English. Me. Mel Gibson hates those English.
Yeah.
he makes some hard movies on those motherfuckers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there were nights when I was drinking that it was like apocalypto. Okay. I was running through the woods being chased by a puma. But it's like that is the thing. It's like you give in order to heal no test, no testimony. All those cool sayings are all real.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta give it out and let go of it and trust that someone else is going to pass it on, right? That it's going to be the whole pay it forward thing. And, I've even gotten into situations where, and it's happened to me recently, actually. And I'm curious if this has happened to you guys because, you can get your reputation. Having a good reputation was so important to me, and being like, hey man, I know deep down 13-year-old me, because that's who you're really was a kid, a good kid of high character.
Mm-hmm.
And I got away from that. I veered way off from that.
Sure.
Like, I don't know if you guys watch Tim Robinson's sketch show.
I haven't.
Where he's
it's
like,
the
this
best
baby
part.
doesn't like me. Baby's crying. He's like, he doesn't like me. I used to be a very big piece of shit. That baby just knows I'm a piece of shit. Not a piece of shit anymore, but I used to be a pretty big piece of shit. Like, I was a pretty big piece of shit. Like, there was a time in my life that I was not proud of, like, what a selfish piece of shit I was. And that goes with the whole disgust being a powerful motivator. So that became such a big part of my identity, and like winning, being like, just be a good fucking person, dude. Mm-hmm. Help people when you can. Even when it's not convenient, try to help other people, even on the days you don't feel like it. And be accountable. But I got so ingrained in accountability that I had something happen recently, and like, do you guys ever find yourself, I'm quick to apologize because what the fuck does an apology hurt? You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't really feel like you did something wrong, if it does, intent versus impact doesn't matter. It's like, if somebody's hurt, even if you may not agree, I'll still give the apology.
It's called empathy, Jacob.
Yeah.
A lot of people out there are dying on real stupid fucking hills.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
They don't have nothing to do with you.
Guy, just say sorry. Like, somebody's fucking.
Yeah. But sometimes, but I had that hurt me recently. Like, I had something happen that you get so ingrained in taking account. I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys yet, but it's happened to me recently, and it fucked me up. It fucked my sobriety up for the first time. And
recently too. So that's
recently, and I didn't like want to drink or anything like that, but it did. I was off balance, and I'm pretty good about staying in the pocket.
Okay.
I'm a pretty even keel guy. What you see is what you get, good or bad. And I have believe me, I have my flaws, and it gets in the way. Being a comedian is not. I saw a thing recently where it was like, comedians should only hang out with comedians, like porn stars only hang out with porn stars. Like, who the fuck else understands what you do? And I think it was Tom Segura and Mark Norman were talking about it. He's like, I used to live next to Jesse James or some porn stars. Like, yeah, she hung out with other porn stars. And it's like, who else is you gonna hang out with? Everyone else is gonna either be trying to fuck you,
right?
Or
I would struggle. I would struggle as a friend.
Or they wouldn't like, or they just wouldn't understand like what you do. And it's like, comedians are dark. We have comedian text threads that would get everybody canceled because to make each other laugh, we have to go that extra mile.
Yeah.
That
don't take shit too serious.
And I've had that happen where like me trying to do comedy with a muggle gets taken the wrong, or you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know how to take you. They're just like, oh, it'll come out, and I'll be like, oh, I went too dark. I went too dark. This person works at a bank.
Yeah.
And they're like, this guy's fucked up, and they don't understand. They don't have context matters. But I'm so much ingrained in like, hey, dude, fall on the sword. Take accountability. It's such a huge part of the making amends and part of the program. That sometimes, have you guys ever like taken accountability and then like, or like taking it on the chin for something and then realize like you didn't really stick up for yourself?
All the time. I would say all.
And then you reflect on it for a few days and it fucking eats at you.
It mind fucks me.
It's a mind fuck, and it threw me off balance. Like, I had something happen with a friend, and like a friend I care a great deal about, and I love them very much. And, it was the first time since I had drank that I feel like my character got called into question.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I would have to explain it to this person. That like, I've known them long enough that I've displayed good character to them, that this one misunderstanding didn't feel like it should have been something we laughed about, or should have been something, and it unearthed all these other things. And like, you know, I didn't stick up for myself in the moment because I go in, I have protector mode, right?
Yeah.
Like I have like hero complex. It's not a good thing either. It's like, it's from being the oldest child. It's from being, you know, feeling like I used to take the rap because, you know, when my brothers would come home, my dad would be like, who broke this fucking lamp? And my middle brother did it. And I'd be like, you did it, dude. You got to just tell him you did it. And then he'd be like, I'm going to give you 1 minute and I'm going to whip all three of you. Then my youngest brother's crying, and I'm looking at my middle brother like, hey, bro, come on, you broke the fucking lamp, dude. Take one for
I've taken the last 10 ass whoopings.
Yeah, but then I'm just so dumb that I'd wait till 5 seconds and I'd be like, I did it. And then I'd get fucking beat. And if I'm like, oh.
God, I'm so sorry that fucking happened.
Well, the thing is, like, he's too dumb to realize that I'm taking one for the team. So he thinks I'm a piece of shit who's going to let my brothers burn. So now I'm getting it worse.
Right.
But it's like that was part of the deal, right? Like it just becomes ingrained in your personality. I'm like, I go into protector mode more for my friends and my family than I do for myself. Mm-hmm. Like if I feel like it's that bully thing, right?
Yeah,
I feel like I always feel like if something happens, I'm like, fuck, you okay? You good? Are we all okay? Is everybody okay? Do you feel good? Are your feelings hurt? Are you okay? And then sometimes I don't ask myself, am I okay? And I tend to like sit on stuff like because I don't want to be reactive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So and then sometimes the moment passes. It's been 3 or 4 days. I'm like, well, now if I bring it up, it looks like I've just been stewing about it.
Mm-hmm. I beat myself up, say, man, why can't I be like? I'm like, yeah. Then you bring up old shit. No, I mean, I don't think that. I think that's also false.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
did you confront? Or,
no, we talked, and you know, the friendship suffered, and I hope it's not irreparable. Yeah. Because it was something that came from a stranger. It was like an accusation that came from someone who doesn't know me, and I'm not taking. I took accountability for my end of it. I was like, out of context, it was weird. But here's where my heart was at. Here's where my intent was at. I didn't mean it that way.
And you've earned the benefit of the doubt.
And but even when someone says benefit of the doubt, that means there was doubt, right? And that hurts sometimes. Or like the friend said to me, you know, that I guess you never fully know somebody, right? They said something like of that nature. Of like, well, you never really know somebody all the way. And I'm like. Yeah, no, I've demonstrated a lot of fucking good character to you that you do know me and that I should
I see what
be
you're saying
forgiven. You know what I mean? Or like it shouldn't be a thing. And it unearthed all this other stuff. And like, I don't want to go into what happened because I don't, I want to keep it private for this person and vague. And I love this person. And I'm still cool. And we'll figure it out, and like time and things like that. And you just find out, I felt like someone. I was like, oh, I can't believe that you were so quick to think so little of me.
Sure,
based on the word or the opinion of a stranger who doesn't know you and doesn't know me, that just overheard something or interpreted something a certain way. And I'm not without guilt. It was comedy side. There was some bit stuff happening, and not everybody involved is a comedian, and they're like, we don't, I've stepped in it that way. I've stepped in it that way
without knowing like the inside baseball on that. It sounds like you've earned credibility, and it wasn't afforded to you, and that's.
It was. I think it was in the end. I like to think that the credibility was there, but it was like I felt like there was a lot of me saying, it just becomes like you don't protect yourself. And I'm curious if that's happened to you guys where I was like, oh man, this fucked me up to a point where I was like, it caught me off balance because I'm like, oh, I care about this person so much and or consider them a true friend that I'm like, I'll go to war. I fight for you in rooms you're not in. I go to war for you.
Sure.
I love you in the most platonic, ride or die.
Yeah, man.
Tribal way of I'm like, you're one of my people. I'll go to war for you. You're in my inner circle. you're in my inner circle, and it made me feel like I thought I was in theirs, and maybe I wasn't.
That's a tough, yeah, man.
And that knocks you off balance because
Right.
I'm pretty good at knowing people and stuff like that. And there's other things. There's complications in all of this. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what they've been through, and it's like I try to give leeway for that.
I can identify with you big picture.
Yeah, I just am curious because like sometimes I catch myself, and this is like an example that really fucked me up recently, but it's happened before where I'm like, you become so ingrained in your sobriety and your recovery and the amends and the taking accountability that sometimes you take accountability for something that
You should have stuck up for yourself.
you should have stuck up for yourself. And like, I didn't do the thing that I'm taking accountability that this happened. It's a bad situation and I want to make it right. That's the accountability I'm trying to take. And then it feels more like they were like, you did me wrong. Thank you. Do better. And I'm like, well, hold on.
Right.
And it's like you get into those situations where you take accountability for things that maybe you shouldn't have just blindly came out and said like,
Yeah, you should
There's
have
a
been more.
specific example in my life that this is just fucking alarm belling.
yeah,
I think it's common for a lot of like us in recovery. I think
yeah.
we're really quick to say I fucked up instead of saying this is why I did it. I'm sorry, but like my character should hold weight here.
Yeah, I didn't say. I just said I fucked up.
Well, we come from a place of burning so much down that our self-worth doesn't always
Yeah,
rebuild as quickly.
Or we're quick to like say I'm wrong so you don't feel bad or whatever
Yes.
it is. Like we do that a lot. We're very much
and that's the protector mode thing.
yeah, I don't want to say martyrs because that's not the right word, but we're very easy to we'll take the sword so you don't have to.
Yes.
Even when maybe you should take the sword or which should be shared damage or whatever you want to call it.
Or like
and
it's more than one sword.
there's like there's
a little more complicated.
Yeah,
than that.
yeah. Like it's everybody's at fault, but I'm gonna take all the fault because I'm that guy.
And I was
the protector mode is a
Have
good
I
word
done that
for
to
it.
you?
Every day of your life.
You're
probably.
fucking fed. You're my red belt.
Fight right now.
But that's extremely common just for
Fight
addicts
this
in general.
man.
Addicts in general, because I always give like the metaphor, whatever you call it, like in a plane crash, like you got to put your oxygen mask on first before you help your friends or other ones. Because if you're not there, how are you going to help somebody else?
We tell that to parents because if they're not sober, they're not a parent, so that their sobriety has to come before their kids, and that's that oxygen mask.
And that comes with like this scenario as well of being the protector mode, or like you say, you take the blame for others. Because I feel like I can take it or whatever it is.
It was something that like I had never had my character called into question while sober,
and that's where like it hurt.
It fucked me up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I built an identity around being like
Mr. Accountable or
someone you can count on.
Well,
someone that like, despite my flaws, hey man, I'm a good and decent human and I'm trying to love anybody who's around to be loved.
Yeah, man.
And I'll fail you, but don't abandon me. Like I'll stay with you. And like it knocked me off balance for the first time where I was like, this really hurt my guts, man. Like I felt like it was the first time my character got called into question and it fucked me up on my identity a little bit where I was like,
you're still wrestling with it. I can
a little bit where I was like, I'm not saying like it was also like when it happened, right? Because you can't control, like you said, 90% of your life can be. I've had like one of the worst 6 months runs of my life, and it happens. I'm not.
No, I hear you.
And it's all relative. Like I
do that to my wife just so she give me some pussy every once in a while.
I'm like,
barely ever.
No, he's getting divorced after this.
She has thick skin. You'd be surprised.
She married me.
Come here, pussy.
Plus,
no, God,
that's fucked up, man.
Don't put that
That's
on me.
not
man.
cool, man.
How about good terms with Ashley right now?
Back to the violin. Back to the violin. Back to the.
We're good, man. We didn't say that.
No, bro, no.
We're good boys.
Whatever.
Back to the violin.
He's gonna leave it in. Don't worry.
Of course.
No, I think the thing that fucked me up was like I felt like, it was a weird thing. Like my grandma had just died. I found out you
Sorry
know.
by that.
No, that's okay, dude. It happens. Like those grandmas die. That's what they do.
Sure,
But it was like I just had a
hurt.
run
I fucking
of
love
like
my goddamn
I'd taken a
grandma.
couple kicks in the nuts, and
Jeff's
it's
grandma's
all-
really sick right now too.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
sucks.
that, man.
Yeah.
It sucks because like even though you know it's coming, it still sucks.
I can only imagine.
Still, it was my last, and honestly, it fucked me up because it was my last living grandparent.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the generational torch has been passed.
I feel the same way. Actually, I've only ever had my whole life one living grandparent, so it's really
Yeah,
weird.
and like when they die, and you're like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Grandparent clip is
Rafe,
empty.
I don't want to write your story for you, but it sounds to me that especially somebody that's coming from a house getting his ass beat every day, that
Sure.
grandparents even take on a bigger fucking role of safety. So
Sure.
grieve, my man.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it was like it's just there was like a series of things happening. Like there were a couple professional kicks in the nuts where like I thought something was cool was going to happen with my comedy career that I was like, and dude, these are very first world problems. That I was like knocking on the door of a big opportunity that just didn't materialize, and that happens a lot. Comedy's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, just like all life.
Sure.
It's a tough business,
Yeah, I can.
and I've
imagine.
already, and
Everybody thinks they're a comic.
and comparison is the thief of joy, and I try to remember that. Like
that on a t-shirt.
Greg Warren is a good comic and a mentor of mine. He'll always be like, "Hey, dude,
He's
you're
a
in the-
St. Louis guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he comes in.
Great dude." And he's like, "You're in the top 5 percentile of comedians of history. You've earned a living. You got a job a very well-paying middle-class job in St. Louis because you're funny. You get paid to be funny."
Wow, it's
And he
perspective.
goes, the difference is between being in the 5th percentile and the 1 percentile is about $80 million.
Yeah, right.
And I go, yeah. And he goes, and that sucks
It's a
because
big
it's
delta.
like the 95% behind you are like, what the fuck's he complaining about?
We don't need 80 million. Yeah, just to
Me neither. Like, I'll take
How
it.
about one?
I'll just
Yeah.
take it.
Come
I'll
on,
take it.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Throw your boy a fucking
Yeah,
bone.
so not to mention, like, the most successful comedian is in this city. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Is she
"Damn,
sober
girl."
too?
She is. Yeah. And Nikki's great. She's been super cool. And
She was funnier. I don't know if it was recent, but they fucking tore into Ann Coulter during a roast. I forget who the roast
oh my
was.
god,
Did you see
Yeah.
that?
it was a while back, but it's hilarious.
Was
I
it?
mean, I was in the room when I was in the Kia Forum when she did. I went to the Netflix festival when she did the Tom Brady roast, and I watched my friend level up in real time. Where I go, these
yeah.
fucking bros in TB12 jerseys that are like, women shouldn't talk.
Right.
We're like,
Yeah.
she's funny.
Yeah,
Who's
right.
this bitch?
That was a breakout for her, man.
Yeah, and
You were there, huh?
I was there, and I felt it happen in the room. I go, her career, which was already doing pretty damn good.
To see it.
Just
as-
leveled up,
as-
and then I'm like, she's gonna be hosting the Emmys, and of course she was,
Yep.
and good for her.
And it was great.
and
Yeah.
I'm rooting for her.
Iggy told me he'd try to get her on the podcast. All right, we'll see.
Good luck, brother.
Right.
You better
I said
just-
here's what spurred it is I saw her give a thing, and it was posted on Instagram account called Ritz Recovery in LA. And I don't know anything about Ritz Recovery LA, but fuck, man, recovery doesn't have to be $1 million. Like,
Yeah.
I clicked on the profile, and it was like luxury rehab, and I like it. It made me cringe a little bit. Just that, not in Nikki at all. But that I understand it's out there, and people need their space. The people that live in the tax bracket that I'll never
Sure.
get to, but.
LA's weird anyway, man. Like you can't.
Fuck, that's
my
where my
buddy's
wife's
in
from.
recovery in LA, and he's like, I go to these AA Zoom meetings, and there's 3 Avengers in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he goes, it's fucking distracting.
Yeah.
It's hard to sit in a meeting and be like, there's three Marvel Avengers sitting in this
Yeah.
Zoom meeting that are in sobriety, and it's like, that's a weird town. It's sobriety is hard. I would imagine that is one of the hardest places to do it.
It's a phone call away to a sugar bowl.
Yeah,
of
and then
fire.
people don't give a fuck. It's a bunch of soulless vampires who they want to suck you dry, and they don't care if you're like.
But wait, these are the guys. They tell us how to act.
I'm talking about like the behind the scenes.
Oh, God,
Hollywood. I've seen friends, and that's what I'm saying. Like comedy is a front row seat to people's fucking crashing and burning. Where I'm like, I see a friend right now, and I love her, and I'm watching the industry eat her. I'm like, she got a little bit of heat, and then next thing you know, she's getting divorced. She's alienated from her husband. She's got these fucking agents in her ear telling her like it's much more appealing if you look single.
Right.
Saw her at an after party, falling down drunk. Tried to get her. I'm like, hey, let's go have breakfast. Let me get you something to eat.
And there's 99% of the
and
people that want
she's
that.
got people around her pushing her into a Tahoe, being like, "We're going to an after party," and I'm like, "She's partied out. Her after party's over."
Yeah.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
but that happens. It's a fucked up industry, and like you gotta be. It sucks, but it's like that is something that's why I'm kind of glad I got where I'm at now. So when that does happen for me, and I hope that it does, and if it doesn't, it's fine. I try to be grateful for what I have and be present. I think I'm ready for it. Like I would have been fucked if that would happen year one.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Or when I was partying, I would be
That
dead.
fucking Jameson bottle be uncorked.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What happens in Hollywood?
So you do you travel a lot now?
But yeah, I still travel around a lot. But
And how long have you been on the
to put a cap
show?
on the thing we were talking about,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I feel like we tapered off. It was I just want people to know that no matter how long you've been sober, there are speed bumps, man, because it's like it was one of those things, like comedy shit had been weird. My grandma died. I woke up, my mom was calling me and be like, "I think your dad's got esophageal cancer, and it's hereditary." And then it's like that weird thing of like, I don't really have a relationship, but it's like he's still a human being and he might be dying, and now I gotta fucking think about that. And
Right.
Here
It was
comes
just-
guilt. All right.
yeah, guilt and shame, and those are a bitch. Those are, and that's the thing, like if you're gonna get to healing, you got guilt and shame are bullies that live on the same block as self-fulfillment and healing, and like you can avoid them for a while, but you're gonna have to fight them eventually, right? You're gonna have to they're the fucking kid.
I'm a good avoider too. Fuck man.
Me
I
too.
can avoid like
Eventually,
a
you got to be Ralphie and fight the fucking yellow-eyed kid. And like that's guilt and shame, and you're gonna have to tussle, and it's not fun. And I think
punched in the face.
So
a
I
little
think
bit.
I was a little off balance already from all of that, like just from personal stuff.
Right, yeah.
And so there was a lot of jabs, and that was like a haymaker that came, because that's something that I always took solace in. Is I'm like, well, no matter what, I'm rooted in this persona of like I am a protector, and I will try to fight for people. And sometimes you can get so deeply rooted into those parts of recovery that serve you well that they could not serve you well at
Right.
times.
I think it also turns into pressure. Like that's the thing about accountability, can turn into pressure really quick as well.
Yeah.
The pressure to be that guy. So if you have a hiccup or whatever it is, or just being human,
Yeah.
Maybe we all do need this.
that's a group I made for Pond.
Jacob
Yeah,
just
and being a
wrote
man
this.
too, man. It's hard being a dude, because I remember like you try to be vulnerable sometimes, like
Pussy.
and it's not always just men. Sometimes it's women too.
Oh, you see.
And it'll be like women in my life have done that, where I'm like, I'll say they don't know they're doing it, but it's like they'll say, my girlfriend's done it. We've had talks about it. She's former heroin. She went to like Crossroads and that whole thing.
She's clean and sober.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
she's off heroin. She's like California sober.
Okay.
But
Better than heroin.
much better than heroin. So, baby steps. But
Sure.
I've had like people say to me, and they don't realize how wounding this can feel when you're in that protector mode, or you're trying to be, dude, I'm a giant guy. I'm like and I'm even keel. I'm kind of like, I welcome that role of a protector, but I've said stuff like, well, I'll be like, oh man, I need a second to gather myself because I don't want to cry during this conversation. And they'll say, oh, I don't even know how I would handle it if you cried.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
right,
And they
yeah.
don't mean anything by it, but it's like, it makes you feel like no one wants that part of you. No one wants to know that part of you. They want the part of you that makes them feel safe.
Right.
Or they want the part of you that makes them feel honored, respected, apologized to. And no, not a single person in this instance asked me if I was okay.
Right.
Because my character got insulted. And I was like, all right, I'll own that, take it on the chin. But no one came to me after the fact and was like, hey man, now that the dust has settled, are you good? And I'm not trying to whine about it, but it was just a thing.
No,
And
I relate
it
to that
kind
a
of
lot.
fucked me up. To have your character called into
Rafe, I
question.
can tell it's still.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but I'm good now.
Sure.
I'm on the tail end
crisis
of it.
over no more, but it's still, you're gonna feel it. I relate. to
Yeah,
it
I'm
a
on the
lot.
tail end of it now, because I'm like, I went through my steps of like, all right, check in with the people you need to check in with. Like, I didn't go through a thing where I was like, man, I'm gonna have a fucking drink.
Yeah, but you didn't let it get that close because you were fucking
But
mindful.
I felt the push. Like,
Yeah.
I felt the
Well, that's
bottle.
what you think.
It was the first time in 10 years I felt the bottle inside me wobble.
Right. That's one thing about addiction. We have to also, like we teach here really much, because that's what I use in my career. Like my addiction is not using a substance. My addiction is that self-centeredness, that obsession, the rational thinking that I'm not worthy. Like that's where like my bottle's shaking, is when those are hitting.
Yeah, my self-worth.
Right. Yeah. If I don't take care of it, then
Tell Rafe what you say about relapse.
oh, like that's like relapse is using is a period of relapse. Relapse ends when you use.
Right.
Relapse starts months before that. When that bottle shakes, when I get that self-doubt in myself,
Sure.
for me personally, it's a lot of irrational, like negative beliefs. I'm a failure. I won't be any good.
Oh, yeah.
This is what
I'm piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
So
I'm
like,
piece of shit.
so like when
Yeah,
that-
right. Like that bit.
Yeah.
When those thoughts kick in, that's my disease. That's addiction kicking in. It's not doesn't need to be used, because used is the period, right? So when somebody checks your questions your character, or like you get those emotional hits, that's where your disease starts kicking in. It's really easy to start dwelling in self-pity or whatever it is, whatever you personally do about it. But as we say, you got to check it. It hurts, it stings, and it's going to have a lasting effect.
100%.
And you work with a therapist on the regular way you talk?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I've been doing a lot of BetterHelp stuff, and that it's not bad. I'm looking for like an in-person person, because I think there's more value being in a room with somebody.
Sure.
You're not looking at a screen where you might be watching fucking Seinfeld over this.
Let me refer the fucking therapist. Okay, I know the therapist.
I do.
I'm not trying to pimp out my wife, but
wow, dude,
Chaz is the best of the business. I'll get you some names.
Better than your wife?
He's the best. They're great.
Well,
he does super. You
don't know because you can't.
She does supervision. He supervises her.
Sure.
So I mean,
well, it's just one of those things too, man. Like I own my part in what, but it's like it's just a weird place to be. Like when shit's kind of burning down all around you, and it's like that one last little hit where you're like, God,
yeah, man,
I can't take another thing.
And then,
let me deal with this, Lord. Just let me deal with all this before one other thing comes down the pipe, and then like another thing came after the fact. Some other things. Where
it
always
always piles down. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, yes, this too shall pass, and suffering is great. It's what makes you. Life is suffering. There's always going to be something, man. There's always going to be a death in the family, or a fucking fractured friendship, or problems in your relationship. But it's like all of those things kind of culminated into perfect storms, where I was like, man, I felt the bottle wobble for the first time in a decade. Very small.
Right.
Very small.
Enough,
and I
though.
immediately went into my, in like what I said, like earlier, you were gone, but I said, take what's useful and leave the rest. I have built a protocol for myself.
Right.
Where I know who to call. I know, and I went through all my steps, man. I called the people I need to call. I read the passages in the books I needed to read. I meditated. I talked to a therapist. I did all the things I needed to do. I'm good. But it was the first time that like the accountability, and sometimes the reason I was asking you guys, like, has that ever happened where you feel like the pressure to be accountable because of recovery can be counterproductive?
Oh, yeah.
It's the first time it was ever counterproductive.
So that's one thing I get a lot of, like the pressure side, because just being like high up in treatment facility, like kind of in the recovery
be
community.
the example.
Yeah, like in a recovery community, like I get stuck in my head. It's definitely a me thing where I got to hold myself up to this high standard of people need to see me as like this golden star of recovery at all times.
Yeah.
So when I'm struggling or going through some shit, it's hard for me to like tell people, right? Because
I feel that.
I'm supposed to be this guy. I'm supposed to be that guru, almost, you called it earlier.
Right.
And that's a dangerous spot for my head to get in.
100%, dude.
Because as soon as I start thinking I need to be this role model of recovery at all times, then I'm not being a role model of recovery, because recovery is being vulnerable. It's about putting yourself out there when you're struggling and falling down. It's not about being perfect. It's about being human and accepting that and being accountable of being human.
Yeah,
and then there's something else I'm going to say that it's like where it's a hard place to be in these. And like if I'm in a meeting with a client, I don't want to share that. Well, I'm fucked up in life right now, struggling like I usually, because you don't want to do that because that client's supposed to look at you higher image. But I always share.
You do that for a living. Like,
yeah,
so like,
and I share this group with a lot of men all the time because, like, in my head,
You're in a meeting. They're like,
can't
is it
listen
going
to
to
that
be
guy.
better? And you're like, I don't know. I barely got my garage door open this morning.
That's like-
I almost just let the car run. I'll be honest. It was a rough fucking day.
And like, but that's what you got to hear.
it's like when you go to the bar and the bartender's a pain in the ass. You're like, I'm supposed to bitch to you, motherfucker. I don't want to hear your shit.
Right. So that's where like you got to be.
Yeah.
You got to get out of your own way on that type of stuff. At least for me, and like having my feelings. So like you need to say you have your feelings. You know what I mean? You got to be that guy. You can't be that tough guy all the time or whatever it is. And I always share with like I did this with a lot of groups. I used to work with like probation and parole. I used to work with this biker gang that got in trouble for drugs, and they would send their guys to me for counseling. And I always like ran the scenario through. I'm like, if you see a guy in a meeting or in a group,
Say the Shriners.
The
I
red
know
hat.
you're talking about the red hats.
but
The old red hats brought him in.
He can't say because
Yeah, I
legally
know.
bound.
But you know.
And I always share like if you see a guy tell another guy
Take
in
a
a group that your feelings were hurt and that like they're being vulnerable and they're putting themselves out there asking for help, like I need help here. Like, what do you think of that guy? And they're always like, well, I think they're brave. Took a lot of courage. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think when you do it? It's like, well, I'm a pussy.
Right.
You know, I'm not a
a
man.
And dude, I still have like that Midwest
And
mentality
Right.
where I'm like, a stiff upper lip cures everything.
You went 0-8 in high school for 4 years
Yeah, I
straight.
took it on. Yeah, bring out the floats, motherfuckers. I've been here before.
I don't know what the
went 2
biggest
games,
takeaway of this will be, but I mean, I am fucking. It is so important, this conversation from 3 guys here that people probably think have this in the bag. We don't. It doesn't matter if you got 14
you never
years.
do.
well, I'm gonna.
The minute you think you got it in the bag, you're in
Right.
trouble.
Well, I'm
Man.
gonna challenge that a little bit. Like, it's not you have it in the bag. Is that when you don't, you have a procedure to do.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
okay,
Like,
yeah.
I
that's
call it your
exact- yeah.
medicine. Like, you got like
That's happening.
none of
in
us
the bag.
have it in the bag, but what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need is to have this. If I don't, I do step A, B, C, and that's how I get out of it. And that's
Yeah.
what
Sure.
recovery is.
And it's just
No matter how many
'Cause-
years you got in,
Sure.
you still have your tools that you need
Yeah,
to
you-
rely on.
Yeah.
You got your barriers to the use, right? And that's what
Mm-hmm.
you need. I was talking to our first client that we had here. He was sharing about like one thing he remembered that I said to him at a meeting the other day. He's like, I remember asking, what happens when the pink cloud goes away? And Jacob goes, well, that's life. Like,
Yeah.
that's when life is. Like, welcome. It's ups, it's
Our
roller
first
coasters.
ever client
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because that's what happens. Like, once that pink cloud of recovery goes away, like,
Oh yeah,
life shows up.
I'll never
That's-
forget that
That's
day.
what we got to do.
yeah. And I think that like, and the main takeaway for me was like, I love this person, this friend, and I think we'll get. I hope we can get back to a place of like, inner circle, ride or die. It may not be the same, but I still love them. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to, it's the same thing like with my dad. Like, I'm going to love you regardless.
Right.
That's not up to you. That's up to me.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
Right.
The unconditional
And,
love side.
And they're cool. And like, I want to protect them. And like, they weren't necessarily at fault. They didn't do anything wrong, but I didn't really do anything wrong either, at least not intentionally. And then you got to suss all that out.
It's a serenity prayer. I mean, you control the things you can control.
Yeah, but like having your protocols is important, and I've had this happen. To get back to comedy, I just wanted to put a fine point on that.
Yeah,
and say
that's
like,
good.
It's important.
you struggle at the beginning, you struggle in the middle, and you struggle. There's always going to be a struggle in sobriety, and it's like the comics should only hang out with comics. Like people in recovery should only talk to people in recovery
Oh, yeah.
and it's all different. Because I've had my girlfriend's a comic and my best friend's a comic, obviously, and they used to make fun of me, because I'd be like, I'm very structured.
Mhm.
I've set up a structured life, and dude, that's what happened with this last thing, and I forgot this part. It was the first time I missed the guy who didn't give a fuck, the selfish guy. That scared me. That's what really scared me. Is I go, I'm internalizing this so hard and taking this so hard that I missed the dude that was like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. Because you shouldn't, but you should. You should, if you did something, if you hurt someone you care about, you should care.
Right.
It was the first time I missed that dude, and I was like, that's fucked up. And so I had to get all my stuff in order. And I've set up a structured life. I am in awe of how much time I was able to waste. I was the king of like,
God,
I did nothing.
Rafe,
I did nothing today. Nothing
I've
productive.
done a math equation on the hours that I sat on a bar stool.
Hours and money.
Oh yeah.
12 hours a day at this fucking place.
I never had more than $5 in my bank account. First year I quit drinking, I had like 12 grand. I go,
Post-dating
damn,
checks.
dude, I got a golden goose that shits money into my bank account. Times 12 years, I drank away a 3-bedroom ranch in fucking Glen Carbon, Illinois. We all have done that math, right? And like, but I'm very structured now, and I have to, and it's that intrusive thought, self-flagellation shit. It's fucked up, man. But like,
do you mean like routine, daily routine?
And structure and being like, I have to
discipline.
I have to have discipline and do things. I have to have like,
it's a recovery thing.
My thing, it is, and it's also an artist thing where I'm like,
Sure.
3 productive things a day. I don't care if it's workout, try to write jokes for 30 minutes. You know, go now. I have the radio show. It's like I'm doing a 4-hour radio show, but it's like I try to do something, eat good, whatever it is, some kind of self-care, meditate. I got to check these things off. And I remember like I write every day for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, you know, there's a book called The War of Art that I recommend to all
you brought that up.
of my friends. And it's just about like, if you do anything creative, you're trying to tap into this like hidden muse, right? And Pete Rose, you know, that there's like an old saying, Pete Rose, somebody told Pete Rose at a press conference, like,
wasn't Cliff, he missed him by 6 months.
Wasn't Cliff. He's like, seems like you're lucky, man. You know, it seems like wherever you hit the ball, there's no outfielder. There's no, he's like, you just hit it in the gaps, like you get lucky. And he goes, yeah, and the more batting practice I take, the luckier I get.
That's funny, right?
You know, and it's like, there was I think it was Wordsworth or it might have been Longfellow. I can't remember, but there was a writer that said the same thing. Like somebody's like, hey, do you only write when you're inspired? And he said, yeah, and I'm inspired every day from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Nice.
So it's like,
that's what
this
he writes.
like myth of like lightning in a bottle, it does happen, but for the most part, you work at something, right?
Sure.
And that's what sucked up. To find that out about comedy hurt me. To be like, oh, it's just like any other fucking job.
Yeah.
You got to care about it and work your fucking ass off at it. It doesn't just...
You don't just show up and do a 10-minute bit and get
No, and I think there is... I'm good at it. I have a proclivity for it, and I think I have a higher batting average than a normal person. The more I do it, the better I get. I can go on stage with a bit and be like, I know this is going to hit.
Okay.
Whereas when I first started, I'm just like, I don't even know what's funny. I'm just trying everything. Because you figure out how to do it. It's like an art form. But I remember like my girlfriend and my friend would like make fun of me and they'd be like, they'd want to hang out and I'm like, I got to go write for a half hour. And they'd be like, oh, Rafe's got to go do his homework. Oh, okay, dude, go do your homework, nerd. And I'm like, you guys don't understand that this is part of my sobriety.
Right.
Right? Because they don't do it. And I'm like, this isn't me trying to be a great A+ student. These are practices that I have painstakingly put in place to maintain my sobriety.
Because if I don't, those thoughts kick in.
Yeah, and if I don't, when I don't write and I don't do the things that I feel like are healthy, the fucking cat of nine tails comes out, and it's like, you're a piece of shit.
Right.
You're a piece of shit. You're not. You're a backsliding piece of shit, and it's not healthy. But I'm self-aware enough to know that those fucking haters live up here, man. No one will ever. I'd read the YouTube comments, people talking shit to me in the chat,
like during the Riz show.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like TMA. Like, there's always fucking trolls in there.
People offer you their wife. That's my bet on TMA.
You offer the wife.
I offer my wife to the media stars.
No, I've had a couple. Tina and I've had a couple.
She doesn't know.
Weird offers like that from folks. We just had some friends tell us they were swinging.
Probably my text inbox.
Well, we had some friends just come out and tell us they were swingers, and I'm like, oh, how long? And they're like, 6 or 7 months. And I'm like, oh, you're just now telling us? Well, you didn't want to fuck us? I took it personal. I was like, I don't want to fuck you guys, but I feel like we should have been the first ones you told.
Don't tell that to Iggy. Fuck.
Iggy was like, I'll fuck you.
He's at 500.
37 times.
He's at 500. Boy, he's in love with Lauren.
But yeah, well, understandably so. She's a great human being.
We want to get her on. She's got a grief story.
She says she's going to come on.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I mean, she lost. Yeah, it's her story to tell. But
she's hard to nail down.
And I identify with that. That fucked my whole life up.
She lost a parent young, and
and
she's got really good insight too. She has really excellent insight about that kind of stuff.
She's cool.
And is a super positive, awesome human being. So I hope you get her.
She was on TMA one day, and they had her read the text line, and
oh god.
There was something she read about.
It's grotesque.
It was a good one I sent in about somebody tossing salad and fucking doing math and all this shit. And she's like, what the fuck am I reading?
Yeah. But to her credit, she's a good sport. She'll read it, even though
It's the prompter.
She's better than
Damn
that.
it! It's
She's
in the
better than
prompter.
your shitty writing.
100%. So when did you? When
She's
did
the
you
reason
get?
Rafe's here today. It's
Amen.
really
Yeah,
at the end
that's
of the day.
awesome. So shout
Yeah,
out to
she
her.
did refer me today. Yeah, she's
Rafe,
great.
when did you? So you were doing stand up for now how 14 years or 13 years, and I'm sure you started off like fucking like low and grew up to.
Oh yeah, man.
Traveling
I was
now
doing
and-
the mics and you know, and it was that structure of sobriety. I knew at 33, starting comedy and in ageist business.
Yeah, you said that. So you think you're getting a late start, right?
Getting a late start. So I'm like, I do not have, because a lot of the comics that start comedy when they're like 18, you got plenty of time to play grab ass and fucking hang out and drink and party and figure it out, you know? And it's like, time is not on my side. But what I do have is experience. I have a deep well to draw from. I'm 33. I've lived so many different lives, had so many different jobs, been a father. I'm a grandpa, you know, at 36. 3 years into comedy, I became a grandpa. And I'm like, you have a unique perspective and the tools that I got from my sobriety that I was able to turn into tools for my artistic life, right? Because those things mirror each other.
Amen. We see it here. We see the most like people come into treatment and they'll do some drawings and shit. And we've talked about this often. And it's like a fucking Monet, the creativity that comes out of some of the
100%, man. And it, you know,
the
some of
Venn
those
diagram, you said it earlier. I mean, to paraphrase what you're saying is a big overlap of
between the artistic community. Oh yeah.
And addiction and the addicted brain.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it is, and it's like,
and when we get sober and use that addicted brain to good, we can fucking change the world.
You can, that, man. And I try to use it.
Maybe
I try
not
to use my addictive powers for good. But it's like I said, you know, and like it transfers onto other stuff too. Like I got to be careful with food because I also grew up poor and we didn't have food in the house, and my dad used to lock up food. So
Beautiful.
I've always,
this guy is fucking awesome.
I've always
Holy
been,
God damn.
You know, he'd lock up like candy and Swiss rolls and shit because we didn't have a ton. He'd want to like eat it at night. He want to make sure we wouldn't eat it while he was gone.
Sure.
And maybe that was a good. I don't know. It was weird, but I get to a point now, like when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, I'll fucking get it.
Right. I'll eat the whole box right now.
If I want it, I don't think about it. It's going in the cart. And that was a habit that I'm like, oh, this isn't good for you. You have a reward relationship with food. You have like this.
Oh yeah.
And I've gotten better about that with time, but it's like, you know, addiction's a sneaky little bitch, dude. It's all over you. It ain't just it's not just your drug of choice. It'll sneak into it'll be like, okay, I'll slide over into this part of your life.
The jar of peanut butter was for me, but I wasn't banging fucking lot lizards two at a time because I had too much peanut butter. So
well,
it was a better vice, but I had
going.
You weren't yet.
Yeah, you had goober grape yet? You'll see. You're not there yet.
Well,
you're just a Skippy man. You'll see. Next comes Peter Pan, then you're on goober grape. Next thing you know, your balls deep in them. And the Flying J and a woman named Darla.
I'll be at the Flying J. It's fucking on 15.
With fucking jelly all over your lips.
Snuck into
saying, I used to be somebody.
Walked right into this.
You grab somebody from the roundabout down there and take her.
But yeah, man, and I don't know what you guys' experience is, but it's all different, but it's all the same, right? We all go through this shit where like it gets onto other parts of your life and like the routine, which I think is that we were talking about was like getting into comedy. And like I tried to use that to my advantage of being like, I will be a blue collar comic and not in a fucking like, you might be a redneck.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Did your mama kiss your uncle on the lips and you might be, here's your sign. Like I'm talking blue collar and I'm a lunch pail comic where I'm like, you can be funnier than me. You might be more naturally gifted than me, but I won't let you outwork me. And I just took that mentality into comedy. I took that mentality into sobriety. I was like,
little Jakey Neighbors there. That's kind of
a little, a little bit. And I don't want to sound like too. I'm like a Black Mamba, dude. I'm Kobe, dude. It's like I'm just saying, like, I took that mentality into like I am going to work at this because I don't have time on my side.
Yeah.
And I really just like I would go. And I wasn't doing the shit these young comics were. I wasn't drinking at the bar.
Sure.
I was sitting in the And that's the thing that like blows my mind about comedy, and maybe this can somehow translate to recovery. I don't know. It doesn't all have to, but like comics now, we've created this world where like everybody wants to do their 3 minutes and put it on TikTok, even if it sucks. And that's weird to me because I'm very protective of what I do. I want it to be finished and good before I show it to the world.
Sure.
You know? And you can get the 10,000 hours thing, right? Whether it's sobriety or whatever you're doing, you know, the old book is like, oh, you got 10,000 hours to be an expert at something. And I always tell young comics, like, you can get that, you want to get your 10,000 hours 3 minutes at a time, going up at an open mic and then leaving the room. I'm like, or you could sit in there and watch your friends.
Yeah.
Learn, see what's working for them, see what's bad habits, what bad, you can learn just as much from a bad comic as you can from a good one. If you do the weekend with the headliner, don't go out in the lobby and try to bang a server.
Sure.
Sit in the showroom and watch a professional comic do 1 hour of comedy 5 times. That's 5 hours of education where you're going to see the best people in the business. And you're going to be like, oh,
yeah.
Comedy is repetition. Comedy, he took that joke from yesterday, went to his hotel room, added 3 things onto it, came back tonight, and it's 10 times better than it was yesterday. And it removes you learn how to saw a lady in half. Like, you become a better magician.
Sure.
And I've always tried to apply that to comedy where I'm like, just fucking engross yourself in it. The same way you got to buy in to recovery, I bought into comedy. And I'm like, just be in it. I consumed everything I could get my hands on. Books. Same thing.
Who are some of your favorites?
Well, you know,
or like inspiration. Like, who's your?
I remember, like, I wrote a letter in 3rd grade. You know, when you're in 3rd grade and you write the letter that's like,
mine was the Dominique Moceanu.
What are you going to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? Right. And you write it the first day of 3rd grade, and then you open it the last day of 3rd grade to see, like, if you've changed your mind. Like, I want to be a fireman. And then at the end, you're like, I actually want to be a baseball player. Well, I wrote comedian in 3rd grade. Still felt that way coming out, and I've known my whole life this is what I want to do.
That's pretty awesome.
The problem is there's no blueprint for it. I remember asking
like, even what you're saying and being a consumer of comedy, like, I don't know any of this inside baseball shit that you're talking about, like how the process works. It makes so much sense when you say it about like sitting and learning. Gets made, yeah, exactly.
Well, and I remember like asking my English/drama teacher, you know, like, how do I get on Saturday Night Live? And this is pre-internet.
Yeah.
In the 90s. And she's like,
you're aging yourself.
I don't know. Go to New York. Right. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not like how do you become an accountant where you go to college and you take CPA classes. So
there's not a guidance counselor.
There's no blueprint, but I will say this: success leaves clues. And the most common thing is work hard. Don't be an asshole.
Bingo. Because
people would rather work with someone marginally less talented than work with an asshole. Be kind to people.
Yeah, you better be real fucking good if you're.
And even if you are, you better be really good because, like, I don't want to fuck with you. And like, I remember being at a friend's house and like this will date me too. It was like the first guy in a trailer park to get HBO.
Nice.
So like we're staying all night at Chris's house, dude.
Real sex.
And I remember like being late at night, everybody else passed out, and like Dice Clay came on. And I was like, I liked it because I knew I was hearing naughty words a kid wasn't supposed to hear. It was like, and you tickery dickory dock. Hey, you know, and I'm like, this guy's smoking a cigarette upside down, cool guy. But then George Carlin jamming in New York came on after, and everybody was asleep. And I remember, like, I didn't get the jokes because they were above my pay grade at the time. Yeah. But I knew what I was watching was art. Really? I knew that what I was watching was an art form, and I was like, hey, guys, wake up. I think this guy's talking to me right now. And it literally felt like he was talking to me.
Yeah.
So funny.
So George Carlin and Richard Pryor were always going to be here. George Carlin's mastery of the English language and commitment to being a wordsmith and jokes and being able to he could talk about rolling a booger and indict the Catholic Church in the same hour. And both things were equally interesting. And then Richard Pryor was really good at being vulnerable and telling stories about himself that weren't flattering.
Sure.
That didn't paint him in a great light, and was truly vulnerable, open, and honest. And I was like, oh man, if I could take the vulnerability and honesty of Pryor and the wordsmith in the craftsmanship of George Carlin and build a perfect comic, that would be the perfect comedian to me. And maybe a little bit of Lucille Ball. I always thought like the zaniness and stuff like that. But the comics that I would say now that aren't household names that should be, Kyle Kinane is probably the best. He could be our next George Carlin. The dude,
I want to look these guys up. So
Kyle Kinane is amazing. Rory Scovel is a super funny dude.
Okay.
If you've never seen Rory Scovel tries comedy for the first time, go home. It's on Amazon. Watch it right now. Beth Stelling is excellent.
Okay.
And these are people that I think they're very known in the comic community.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. So,
but in the Muggle
General-
community, it's usually like, I like Jeff Dunham. You like Jeff Dunham? And I'm like, Jeff Dunham's fine. I don't have any problem with his racist puppets.
I will admit that I bought all the Def Comedy Jam VHSs in high school.
Yeah.
And I saw, fast forward to 2 years ago at the fucking NASCAR race at Worldwide Technology, Chris Tucker was there. I ran into Chris Tucker, and I started doing his bit from this Def Comedy Jam before Friday. It's like if Michael Jackson was a pimp, slow down Tito. And he did this whole thing. And he's like, that's my old shit. I'm like, that is those tapes I used to watch. It was him,
dude.
Martin Lawrence, Bernie Mac. There was a couple. I mean, there was like 4 VHSs, like 4 comics each, and those were the studs in it. And I mean, we would sit around. We would probably get a little high, but we would fucking piss our pants at.
Oh yeah.
What you're calling? I mean, to me, it was the art of that industry.
Sure.
It was really fucking incredible, man. And so seeing Chris Tucker, who was jacked at a fucking NASCAR race in St. Louis, I still don't know why he was at this race. I got pictures.
He's an
to prove
interesting
it.
guy too. That was like top of his game and just like stepped away.
Yeah.
Counted his checks.
Got his rush hour money and started helping kids in Africa, and like maybe he'll be back one day. I don't know.
I'm telling you, I have no fucking idea why he was at the worldwide NASCAR.
He must be a huge.
He did a show in Arkansas at a club like a couple years ago, just out of the blue. And I was like, he's probably coming. There's always the rumors that like, and that's the other comic that I don't think gets enough credit of my generation that influenced me is Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Yeah, when's he gonna ever do stand
When
up
Eddie
again?
Murphy put out Raw and Delirious, dude,
Yeah.
that was required watching, required
Yep.
quoting.
Gosh, he was like a teenager too. Like, was he like
so
19?
young. I mean, a complete prodigy.
yeah.
I think he was, and I remember
Chappelle too.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence on Crazy and Deranged when he had that jumpsuit on, that gray charcoal gray jumpsuit. He was sweating like a fucking whore on Nickel Night. But it was a great. That was always on late, like HBO and the Comedy Central, and I would always watch it when it was on. It was funnier and shit. Did you go to Chappelle Rock when they were here?
I did not. I would love to. A lot of times when comics are in town, I'm working.
Sure.
Which is unfortunate,
Did you hear
but
about that whole deal though? Like, well,
Chappelle being late?
Yeah.
And Rock, yeah.
Well, it was during a playoff football game, and we're pretty
yeah.
convinced that. And Rock, and then the first guy that they had on was really funny, and he did really great work with the crowd. But they brought him back out from Kansas City. He was good, and then we could
Remember
tell.
his name?
I'll have to look it up. He was great.
That's all right.
I should shout it out, but he was funny, man. He was really good, and then at the end you could tell because he was ad-libbing, working the crowd. And, and Rock went long because Chappelle wasn't even fucking there yet.
Yeah, he was just buying time.
Which. Once it kind of hit me as it was going on. I'm like, something's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's not even at the Enterprise Center yet. And it was like 11:30. He was supposed to go on at 9:30.
Yeah.
But
Chappelle though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chappelle.
When you're the king, you can do whatever you want.
Rick Ingram, or Ring is his guy's name.
Ricky Ingram? Yeah, he's real funny, man.
Yeah, he was good.
Nice.
So you're
nice
traveling
recall.
a lot, and then
yeah, I travel around.
How does
a lot.
that work with the radio show? How long have you been on the Riz show?
So this is my 3rd year.
Yeah.
And when I signed up with the Riz show, I'd gone on as a comedian to promote because it does help. Like Riz is the king.
Because you and Lauren started like the exact same time, right?
We did. We came on at the same time.
At Hubbard, right? Well, they were always
at Hubbard. She was always at Hubbard, and like she's just my homie, dude. Like we are of the same. It feels like I've known her my whole life. It's just one of those people that you meet them, and I'm like, oh. Because she's from West Frankfurt. She's from one town over.
Yeah.
And we
driven through West Frankfurt.
We've probably orbited each other our whole lives and just never, it's that serendipity thing where it's like we were probably
small world.
I had a
Small
college
world.
class in the outlet mall in West Frankfurt for John A. Logan.
Tight.
Oh, nice.
I just did a show at John A., which was very
Did you?
full circle.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we came
3
on at the
years.
same time, and we had good chemistry, and like we just instantly. I also think there's a trauma bond when you join a show that's already it's like we walked on the Yankees, right?
Yeah, man.
And they were having a problem. Like Jeff
Yeah.
passed away,
Oh,
Tony's
that's right.
thing
well,
happened.
I know about Jeff, but I
and
forgot
then
about
it's
the
like,
drama.
Yeah.
you know,
Did you know Jeff?
yeah, Jeff is how I got on the show to begin with. Like,
Oh,
and a lot of
that
people don't. The same people that were like, "You'll never be Jeff Burton." When I first joined, you know, and I'm like,
So you're
well,
filling
I'm
those.
not trying to be Jeff Burton. Yeah.
Well, and also he was my friend, and you have no fucking context, you piece of shit.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like I got Julie Burton's blessing, and that's the only person I needed. And also,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be Jeff. I'm a different. Learn and I always say we each filled one shoe.
Nice.
Mhm.
I like.
You know what I mean? Like
He was
neither of
fucking
us
a
was trying
legend,
to
man.
be Jeff. I want to be Rafe. It was like I remember when I came on, they're like, "You want a radio name?" I go, "Fuck no! I'm trying to get people to know who I am."
right.
No, I'm not going to be
You wanna
fucking
be cornbread?
Saturn
Yeah.
Skywalker. I'm fucking going to be Rafe Williams. I'm like, that's the reason I took the goddamn job. And, you know, I think there's a trauma bond also involved when you join something and everyone's like, are you going to right the ship? Or are you going to be the ones that steer it right into the iceberg?
Oh fuck.
And it's like, and I'm being a little hyperbolic because Riz is a pro. He probably could have done it without us, but it was like he had chosen us to join the show because he felt like that was the right chemistry. You know, he took a chance on us, and like you want to prove that person right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of haters. The misogynist came for her because it was a boys' club till
Right.
she came. Everyone thinks I'm a liberal
Think-
cuck comedian just because
Nice.
just because comedian, you're automatically like cuck liberal.
Unless his boy Shane.
Unless you're in Austin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're in Austin,
You
you're
got
really
another
helping.
fire. Your boy Shane's coming to
I'm
town.
excited. Got tickets.
I just saw something about Shane Gillis telling him how much he hates going back to his hometown because he has to deal with all the fucking Republicans.
Yeah. Shane's an interesting guy because he's not what everyone thinks he is.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Somehow he gets by. Those people go see his shows.
I know.
That's that right there. Michael Jordan said Republicans buy
Yeah.
sneakers too. I haven't seen this bit, but we were passing the phone around the other day when he was talking about the Special Olympics. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's a great comic,
so
man.
foreign. He's like, but if your buddy told you that, like at a bar, like that you're going to do this,
My
you
buddy,
tell him never repeat that.
Let's race
again.
those fuckers.
Chris O'Connor's a friend of mine, and it was awesome that Tires got on because that show got made right when he got SNL and got canceled.
Yeah.
Right.
And Chris was like, fuck, we thought this is SNL, then the Tires is going to get picked up. And then it sat for like a couple years until Shane kind of came back around, got bigger than ever.
No shit.
Is,
Now
Chris,
that's on
is he
Netflix.
in that show?
Yeah,
Chris?
he's like the mustache, kind of the quieter mechanic.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, God. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
That's
great.
such a
Have
good
you done
show.
shows in New York City?
Yeah, I mean, I go do shows in New York. I've had a really good career considering I stayed in St. Louis. Like,
I was going to say, yeah. I'm surprised you haven't moved away from here.
I've been, that's the pressure is always like New York, LA. But
Yeah.
I think COVID changed that a lot
Yeah.
because everybody moved the fuck out of New York and LA when COVID happened and you couldn't do shows. Everyone's like, I'm paying $4,000 to live in a shoebox
Right.
Oh God, I have
with
family.
3 roaches as roommates. This sucks.
Well, yeah. Nikki came back to St. Louis.
Yeah, and they set up this like EcoCast pipeline where I auditioned for like the Bear and HBO shows from my house.
Oh really?
Nice.
And if they call me back, I'll just get on a flight and go.
Right,
Right.
And if I get the job, then we'll move. And I always tell agents and managers, because I've done like Just for Laughs, New Faces. I went to the New York Comedy Club a few years ago and was in the final 40s. There were 40 comics left. They're going to take 18 of us, or maybe it was like 13. And I didn't make the final cut, but like that's about as far as you
I'm
can
moving
go.
you from the
Yeah.
upper 5% to the upper like 3%.
Yeah.
You're
I'll take
knocking
it.
on the door.
I'll
bro.
take it. And it's peaks and valleys, but like I've done Moon Tower 2 years in a row. I've been invited to the Netflix festival. These are all the same things all my friends in LA and New York are getting.
Right.
It's it's a little bit of luck and preparation and have to meet. And I've had agents and managers be like, when are you going to move to LA? And I'm like, get me a job.
Sure.
Put me in a writer's room. I'll work for someone else, but I don't want to move to LA and have to drive Uber
Yeah.
60 hours a week because I know myself and I know I'll be worn out. I'm in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go to the mics. I'm going to go home and go to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
right
yeah.
now, I've been a full-time, St. Louis has made me able to be a full-time comic for almost 10 years
Yeah.
because it's cheap to live here. It's
Sure.
cheap to fly out of here. And I get a ton of stage time because we have a really good scene. There's like 5 clubs here.
Yeah.
Two Funny Bones, a Helium. The Improv Shop has 2 stages.
The one in Fairview closed.
One in Fairview closed.
The comedy. I used to go there in high school because they served me alcohol, and I would. It was
That's why they're closed.
It was a fun show.
Yeah, they're closed.
Well, they opened another one like
Buddy of mine
some
fell out in the
jazz
parking
club, but
lot
I
in
don't
high
know.
school. I'm like, I guess he's not coming in.
But
he's breathing.
So yeah, man, I've been very blessed to have a good career, and then joining the Riz show boosted my regional visibility by a ton.
Yeah.
Because
the
now
show,
instead of
joining this podcast will probably bring you down a little bit. But
yeah,
like you
when
said,
I go,
peaks and valleys.
It's peaks and valleys, dude. You know. But, you know, it's been really good. And when I made the deal with them, I said, you know, if this is going to take away from stand-up,
Right.
I can't do it, man.
Sure.
And, you know, Riz was like, I hired you because you're funny. Tommy, to the station manager, like, we don't want you to give up on the big dream.
Right.
So he's like, here's what I'm going to do. Morning radio is going to wear you out. Like,
I was kind of wondering about that because it's you guys are on it.
yeah, I got to get up at like 4.
Yeah.
And being funny at 6 a.m. is a whole nother animal.
Yeah, you got to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. I'm getting ready to get the fuck out of here in a second.
Show prep?
There's show prep. I do a lot of my prep the day before.
Okay.
Just because I'd rather do it then than
4 a.m.
Unless I have to do sports, which, you know, I don't have that often because it's hard to make sports funny. I do the best I can with it, but it's like,
I don't know. The Cardinals got some pretty good material.
well, I usually do still stupid shit. I do like the super important sports report where I just do a Chris Berman and I do sports that no one cares about, like cheese rolling.
All right. So what have you?
I almost like troll the sports
Have
people.
you even touched the dildos in the WNBA?
We talked about it today. I said they should do it in the NBA, and LeBron's hairline's always moving. I'm like, if you can stick a dildo right to LeBron's shiny ass forehead, you get Lakers season tickets courtside with Jack Nicholson. It'd be more entertaining.
Goddamn right. But Sophie Cunningham is entertaining though.
But I will say,
I don't know who that is.
Oh fuck.
Is that the hot WNBA?
Blonde, yeah. I
she's
like
really
Caitlin
taken
Clark, but
off.
Sophie's.
I'm gonna Google her.
Sophie's the one who tweeted,
I'm gonna
"Stop
Google her right
throwing dildos on the court. Where one of us is going to get hurt."
Are they really doing that?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a second dildo.
They call him a serial dildo thrower.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Big green ones, about as big as my leg.
Oh, she is cute.
She's a Mizzou girl.
But yeah, to put a capper on it, I'll say that like comedy has been really good to me here. And when I took the job at the Riz show, they said, you know, we want you to take real vacations. Like if you try to take all of your vacation time here one Friday at a time so you can go do clubs, you're going to get burned out. You're going to quit. And we don't want you to quit.
Sure. That's
So
a good employer.
they're like, here's the deal. Part of your pay structure and part of your salary will build in like, go to Mexico, go to Destin, Florida, take regular vacations. And when you need a Friday off to go do clubs or go do comedy, give us at least a week notice and we'll let you off. You can go leave the show on Thursday. We'll pay you for Friday. You go out and you do your thing. And like,
Good crew.
they've been super supportive of my comedy career. So I got no complaints there. You know, like they have made it able for me to do both. And they've also made me able to say no to shitty gigs, which is I'm grateful for. Like I used to have to be like, what? Yeah, I'll fly 700 miles to make $18 and half a sandwich.
To the bingo hall at fucking Louisville.
Yeah, because you always feel like every gig you have to say yes to. So they've given me the ability to say no to some stuff, which is a good feeling.
Sure.
It's a good feeling to get to the point in your career where you can be like, I appreciate the offer, but that's not a gig that I do anymore.
So 105.7, I mean, everybody knows the
105.7 The Point.
105.7 The Point. 6
Real alternative radio.
I was gonna say.
And what?
It was KC sounding for a minute there.
Yeah, real rock radio.
Yeah.
When and do you have any shows?
All shine down all the time.
Shinedown's good recovery music.
Dude, is that what it is? St. Louis love Shinedown.
I
dude.
do love Shinedown. Fucking Point Fest, baby.
Bro, I feel like that band in St. Louis is bigger than the Beatles.
If you haven't gotten a
I
humdinger,
knew Sammy Hagar.
if you haven't gotten a humdinger at a Shinedown concert, you ain't been to, you're not from St. Louis.
I know.
Have you? So
I
when
think Trapped is playing Arnold, Missouri.
when is your next? What do you got? Any shows coming up?
Well, I got this recovery show coming up for Prevent Ed September 6th. So if you're in recovery, go to their website. It's
We'll share that
at
too.
Coca. It's September 6th, and it's like a good Sans Bar event. It's a good networking event.
Yeah.
And they have people come in from all over the country. There were like, it's led to more work because there's like facility administrators from like Denver and all over that run places like this that come in. And it's like a networking event for administrators as well as people in recovery. And
We need to do something.
you know, I've had people be like, "Hey, dude, we want to have you come out to Denver, come to Wyoming, and do our recovery center stuff." So it's good for
Well,
me.
I'm thinking, I mean, we obviously sometime maybe come speak to the alumni. We do guest speakers, but
Yeah.
we've had some stuff where we're at events. Maybe we can throw some business and get you come out. That'd be fun.
Sure. And, you know, I'm always happy to help out, man.
I'll talk to your agent.
Yeah. Talk to learn.
Yeah. That's what I
She's
was
my
getting
ad
at.
hoc agent.
So
yeah.
comedy
have
show
her.
for the clients is not a bad idea, but
Yeah, it'd be fun.
love it.
No, she probably
Takes a
would
big
book
cut.
me. Yeah, I'll give 10%, lady.
Man, this was great, Rafe. I can't thank you enough for.
Yeah, I had fun, dude. We're all over the place, but I
That's
feel
what-
like
that's
we
what we
covered
do,
a lot
dude.
of cool shit. So
Yeah, and you give us. I mean, nobody
Hope it
asked you
was
to be here
useful.
this long, but we like to ramble. It's we do this once a week, so people do kind of buckle in and listen on their commutes. We appreciate you more than you know for getting so vulnerable.
yeah, man.
It's worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze. You know that, and somebody's going to be fucking affected by it for the better.
I hope one of those 18 people really have a watershed.
I'm just. Well, it's going to be 17 because I'm not going to let my wife listen to this after some of the shit I said.
Yeah, I already sent her.
Fuck.
I already found her on the therapist website and sent her
Psychology
audio
Today.
recording.
You got it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. You guys are awesome. Keep doing the Lord's work over here, man. This is a cool facility. I didn't even know this was a thing. So
Yeah, but
Good on
let
you,
people
man.
know, and we're here if you know anybody that ever needs any help. We're also a dot to connect if and some of your unread.
yeah,
you
it's
can't
good
get
to
them
know.
all.
It's good to know that, like. And can I ask? Like, I'm sure your audience knows this, but like, I'll be the layman.
Sure.
I'll be the audience surrogate here. Like, are there barriers to entry here? Is
So
this
yeah.
a men's facility? Is this all ages? Is this a both genders facility?
So adult co-ed, so men and women
18 and
over
over.
18. We are
Great.
private, so the biggest barrier that we hit a lot of times is somebody has to have health insurance. We're not able to accept like state, like Medicaid. We're not able to accept. So really,
But
any
you
private
can take like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Anthem, all that stuff.
Yep, any
United,
of those.
And cash is still king.
Yep, we have self-pay. We're very.
Any kind
I've
of,
said this before we
Aggressive,
started, but like we don't want financials to be a barrier. We do.
right.
If we can keep our lights on, we are happy.
You're working
If
with
staff can get paid, we are happy. So we're not like, you have to pay this exact amount right before you come in. We'll work with people to the best we
Great.
can.
I've heard it said before, and it was a life changer when somebody, what is, it might have been Eric said, what do you spend a day on your habit? And somebody's like $300. He goes, we'll start a payment plan around, you got, you want it to put that, invest into your recovery, and it won't be that, but
Right.
and you said it earlier.
Does anyone ever come bang on your door at 3 a.m. for more
happening.
recovery?
I'd be surprised.
Can you front me a little more recovery?
Yeah, you'd be
We've
surprised.
had a couple people show up about that time. So.
There is a lot of times, though, to your point, probably very early on in this podcast, that we get friends and family members of that will call and spend hours on the phone wanting it more than their loved one, and that's the hardest conversation. Is, you guys, I hear you. We want that. We want your loved one to get clean and sober too.
Oh yeah.
But until they're ready, you have to make it. You have to do things in their life to make things uncomfortable on them to get them ready.
Dude,
Like we said earlier, we
bro.
can only point. We can only
had
show them
this-
where to go.
Oh yeah, that is a good point too, and a poignant one. I've had this conversation with my own mother, where my brother struggled with some stuff, full disability, PTSD. Went to Iraq, got out of the army, and was just clearly using, but she was a soft place to fall.
Yeah,
Always a couch, always letting him stay there, and
the mother's
and
heart.
she wants him to get better, and I go, the only way is you gotta close the fucking clinic, close the doors.
She's gonna love them to death.
That's what and it's hard to get through to people,
Literally.
especially moms.
Moms are the hardest.
Oh yeah,
It's
Moms
hard
are
to
my
get. It's
Achilles
hard.
heel. So
Yeah, I'm like, as long as he's got a lifeline, he ain't
And-
never gonna let him. You gotta let him. You gotta let him land in the street, and I know that hurts and it's hard, and
It'll speed up the
tough.
bottom, and the chance that the odds get better that loved one will get help.
agreed.
They're not 100% though. So you tell a mom, you can do everything I'm saying, and your child can still die, and that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
hardest part.
But that being said, we do have every Thursday night at 6 p.m. in our gymnasium. We have an open to the public veterans in recovery meeting. So
that's awesome.
People in recovery and that are veterans or active military. It's like one of the only ones that I know that are in person. Yeah. We do it every Thursday night. So
yeah,
that's awesome. And I care about that a lot, man, because like I have like weird guilt from that too. Like I served I was in between I was in between the Gulf Wars and I never got deployed. My brother, my younger brother did. And I had friends that got deployed and like going back to some of the stuff we talked about, to wrap it up, because I know this is a long ass time we've been sitting
You're the
here,
one that got to get up at 4.
Well, it's like you go through this thing where that tough Midwestern, like nobody about like the men's and group therapy and learning that like finding your tribe and being able to talk about shit, those guys struggle, man. That is a silent killer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The PTSD that you don't see, these guys with survivor's guilt, these guys that are, maybe had TBIs that you can't see, that are fucked up. And
they can't even tell you because they're fucking TBI.
Or they don't want it. It's that whole like, you're coming from a military background where it's like, be tough and you're already a Midwest male and women too. Veterans struggle with it too. And it's like having a resource for them to come in and have other veterans be able to come and see them talk openly about these wounds and healing them is like, that's huge, man. So that's cool.
We take veteran insurance specifically. Yeah. There's some back and forth with the VA, but I won't get into that.
There always is.
All right. So, it's like, it's almost been a theme of this episode too, as well. Like-minded people sharing with them, comedians with comedians, addicts with addicts, veterans,
porn stars with porn stars. Don't forget about that.
And veterans,
virgins with virgins. Me and Jeff.
That's right.
And veterans fall right into that category. Sure. Of like they don't want to open up to a civilian. They want veteran on veteran.
100%.
They can be a lot more open. They can be vulnerable. They talk to somebody that understands. So that's one thing we made sure veterans were a big part. We take TRICARE, VACCN insurance. So because it's a population that's underserved that needs help. So
yeah,
and there's a ton of bases around in the Midwest, not just Scott, which is down the street for the Air Force, but in Fort Leonard Wood's out there. There's one in Kansas. It's So thank you for your service. It's just as important.
Well, someone had to protect the West Frankfort Armory.
That's right, baby.
Thank God I was there. Thank the Lord.
You never went AWOL.
Never.
Rafe, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, man.
This is huge. I appreciate you. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your stories, your vulnerability. Fucking my cheeks hurt from laughing so hard.
Well, that's good. I didn't want it to be too serious, so I'm glad. I hope it was. I had a good time, man. I hope it was fun.
When I get home, my other cheeks are gonna hurt. That turns me on. I gotta stop. All right.
You're into pegging?
No.
He likes to get pounded out.
I'm not into pegging.
You said to pound off.
This
is when you pray, bud.
Yeah, right. Sorry. All right. Everybody, let us pray. Thanks.